but it might be fun if we did.
CTD is behind the mic.
Oh, we don't gotta get wasted. Welcome to the show, but it might be fun if we did.
CTD is behind the mic.
Hello, my friends. Everyone, welcome to another fucking A. Good day, mate. Good to see you. How you going, Jason Muggsy?
Amazing, man. Life has absolutely taken an awesome turn from the beginning of the year. And honestly, I got you to thank for that, man, starting me out on that 72-hour fast at the very beginning of the year. And man, that changed everything about my life, period, man.
No
it gave
way.
Me, yeah, bro. It gave me
That's so
confidence,
cool to
gave me
hear,
so
man.
much energy, so much life left in my body, man.
There we go. So everyone, welcome to CTD Experience. If you are an MMA fan, if you enjoy fighting, if you want to learn a little bit about the sport, little inside baseball, this is the guy to talk to. So if you're on X or if you're on YouTube, I can bring up your comments, say hi. We're happy to interact with you, but I think you are really going to like the conversation that Jason and I are going to have. So thanks for taking time to be here, man. Very excited about that. And that was one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was your experience, because we had like the January fitness, started out with the 72 to 86 hour water fast. And yeah, I mean, why don't we do this? What I can do is I can kind of show the video. It's 2 minutes long. And then why don't you tell us about how it affected your life?
Oh, yeah, sure. Rock it out, man. I think that would be, I'm almost more into health now than I am into MMA anymore, man. But,
dude, that's amazing. So just to put everybody on the same page, the same sheet of music, man, here is what he is referring to.
I just got done fasting for 86 hours. I feel like a superhero. I feel incredible. And I want to tell you how I did it. I love sharing this kind of stuff with you. So when I left the event on Saturday night, I started fasting. And here's a picture of me Saturday night when I left. I just got done this morning. So Saturday to Wednesday. And here are the pictures of me this morning.
Yo.
So
yeah,
if you've seen this online, but it's called the 7-day water fast. And this doctors have done studies on this, and this thing is legit. It gives you an over 70% chance of not getting cancer, Alzheimer's, and other nasty diseases. And basically, you drink water for 72 hours. Gary likes that better than 7. He says it's safer. And I'm going to walk you through what the protocol is in this video. So the first 24 hours, all you drink is water. But you can put electrolytes in your water. This is what I use. I'm sure you could use any electrolytes you want, but make sure that there's 0, 0, 0, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, 0 calories. This is all 0, and this stuff tastes really good. This is what I've been using for a while. So the first 24 hours, you drink water, and you can use that in your water. Then the next day, this is the cleanest broth that you can buy. This thing only has 45 calories, less than 1 gram of carbs, and it has like 13 grams of protein. So all it really has is protein and 45 calories. That is the cleanest broth out available. Chefs will tell you that. It's Gary Brecka approved. You can pick this up anywhere. You do this twice a day for the next 2 days. You drink all your water with electrolytes, but you can do the broth twice a day. Bone broth, the bone broth, twice a day for the next 2 days. You're going to feel incredible. And obviously, you know, you're doing it for the internal, but externally, you get absolutely shredded on this thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's fantastic. And what I want to do here...
Hey, guys, what's up? I just got done fasting.
Hold on.
Shut up, Dana.
Let's just, you know, as we're talking about this, why not bring up, where's the picture of him shredded? Let's do this. So, there we are. So, this is actually, I feel like on X here is when we started engaging the most.
Yeah.
I promoted, hey, in January, anybody that wants, let's kind of jump into this fitness thing. Let's do the fasting. Let's make it a month of focus. And you're like, challenge accepted.
Yeah, I'd never done it before. I jumped out. I don't know if you're familiar with the shopping center Aldi's, ALDIS.
Sure.
So I jumped over there and I found it wasn't that brand, the Kettle and Fire, but it was their brand of beef stock, and it was complete 000. And I was like, all right. So I looked it up, really looked into it, and it was the perfect broth. As far as the electrolytes went, I didn't bother. That first 24 hours, I went raw water, man. And yeah, and then switched up the next day. I did probably about a cup and a half, two, maybe even a little more of the broth, and I was fine. Like that first night, sure, I felt like, oh my God, this is hell. But I went to bed and I fell asleep. Everything was fine. The next morning, I woke up grumbling, and I was just like, all right, the rule is broth. So I drank some water in the morning. About noon, I hit that broth, felt fine. Felt fine. I did not feel like everything was crashing around me. I didn't feel like I was going to crash. My kids got home from school. I cooked them dinner. I did not even taste their food, but I still cooked for them like I would.
I remember there was, you
was
made
tough.
a post about that, I think. I
was
recall.
tough. But
I remember that.
it really required me to it's just my phone. It really required me to really have self-control. And so I'll tell you what, man, this is not just a get healthy thing, bro. This is body, health, mindset, especially. Like, if you can get yourself through that first 24 to 48 hours, all of a sudden you realize things like things start coming to your mind. And I'm not talking about like magical fruition. I mean, like, oh my God, I don't need food. I want food, but I don't need it. And you start realizing all the ways food's controlling your life, all the ways that you really like are piling stuff in just because you're bored or whatever, all those different reasons you packing food in your mouth. And here I am going on the 72 hours, bro. And I was like, I could do another 24. Like, I felt completely fine, and my body was accepting it. And I remember I was at 258, 256 when I started, and I got down to 217. I popped back up to almost 240 because I got a little lax through the beginning of spring, but then I'm dropped down to 228, man. I'm back down to 228. My wife and I started trying to do, I was going to do another 72 when you did there the other week. And I was like, all right, are you ready for this? I'm going to do it. Do you want to do it with me? Not in a detrimental way. She was not ready. And she got so sick in that first 24 hours. It was horrible. So
Well,
I had
it's definitely one of those things you got to mentally, number one, well, make sure your doctor has no reasons for you not to, right? Like number one. But then number two, right? You're talking about 70% less chance of cancer and Alzheimer's. Also, the physical benefits. And all my recollection was, I think you said you at the beginning of January, 228 or somewhere in there. And you're like, my goal is to get to 215 or something like that.
I was 256.
Okay. Maybe
and I got down to 217 after 72 hours, man.
Hold on. So you're saying how much weight?
I lost almost 45 pounds in 72 hours. Most of it was bloat and water weight that I had just been carrying for a long time, man. Just absolutely unhealthy fat weight.
I thought you lost 10 pounds or just thereover.
No, it was.
You're blowing my mind right now. Is this physically possible?
Yeah.
And I have no reason to think you're lying.
I'm not lying. I showed you guys the scales. Like, I wasn't lying, man.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then I got down to 217. The fat was starting to trim. My whole center, my whole core was just pulling in tight. And I was like, I could do another 24.
Whoa.
I went to bed that night and said, all right, I'm going to go to bed. No eating. I'm going to bed, and maybe I can get up tomorrow and do this again. The kid, my son was off school the next day, and I was like, all right, man, let's go have some fun, and I made myself an egg and a slice of bacon, and I started with that, just some soft scrambled, and just kind of got something salty in me, something soft protein. Both of them were proteins, no sugars, no nothing like that. And I stayed off sugar for almost a month and a half. Like I didn't touch any
Dude.
sugar. And it really, really helped. So much so that I get to comment on your last post about the colonoscopy prep.
Woo!
I had to do
wild ride that was, mate.
Yeah, I had to do it twice in a month because I sent my
Oh.
here. I don't know about you, but we got a company called Cologuard. They send you a box that you actually crap in, right? You take a dump in it and you seal it up. You put their little fluid on there, it preserves it, and you send it back. And then they
That
send me a
was
message.
Not my experience.
They sent me a message saying it got there too late. And I'm like, so they sent me another box. So 2 times in 1 month, is just this last month and a half, 2 times I had to mail my own feces through the mail. And I was like, this is ridiculous, man. Why didn't you just have me come into the doctor's office and do this? You know, it's like right around the corner. But yeah, man, no, the test came back. Oh, it came back positive, but that's normal old people stuff. And I don't really want to talk about it, but I don't have cancer or anything like that.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
But where the discussion led us was you're like, oh yeah, man, I've been around a lot of MMA fighters and a lot of MMA. They do this type of fasting, they do that, they blah blah blah. They do a lot of different things. And that was like the genesis of, okay, tell me more about your life. And then you know, we're opening up about, like, you promoted MMA and you've got we got videos we're gonna watch, but man, for anybody that doesn't know, you are in the know of the industry, know many of the fighters, etc.
Yeah, I've had a lot of interactions with everybody from the top down, man. The majority of the company I ran, the sports network I had, ACS Live, that was ACS stood for Amateur Combat Sports. So the majority of people that I filmed were amateurs, but I did cover pro events too. And a lot of these pros were the guys that they're trying to be seen, man. So it was my job to create highlights, to create promotional videos, to get these guys seen, to get them in front of people. And it was a ride, man. I've done everything from pick Uriah Faber up and bring him to events. I've picked up Clay Guida and brought him to an event down at Quad Cities in Iowa, and that was hilarious, man.
Well, why don't we take a moment to see one of the videos on the ACS now Fight TV channel? But
right it's not my fight, is it?
Why don't we see a young
the MMA draft? Here we go.
Do you remember this guy? Do you remember this guy with the earrings?
That is me about almost 20 years ago now, man. 2010, about 16 years ago. That was 2010, 2012. Yeah.
Okay, this is about a 20-minute video. So help us scoot through the parts.
Yeah, no problem. Right now, you're actually going to see me introduce the event. Uriah Faber had been on a couple of the podcasts already and had no idea who I was, and which was hilarious because he didn't know that I was the producer. And so I actually cracked a joke on him that I'd been cracking on him on the podcast for about 3 years. And I made the joke about his hair. But here I'm introducing, behind us is amateurs galore from all over Michigan. And as a matter of fact, the guy behind me, directly behind my head right there, he's from Northern Michigan. Really great kid. Never really made it, but man, he had heart galore. Holloway is there in the camouflage, not the dark green camouflage, but the gray and black shorts. That's Holloway, man. That kid did phenomenal in the lower ranked pro career.
Not to be confused with Max Holloway.
No, not Max Holloway. No.
Yeah.
No.
So when you say Holloway, right, like there's one person that goes here. All right. So let's just play a little bit here. And then, guide us through the video. I think this might be fun.
Right on.
Got my Soulfly fight team here behind me hanging out. Let's take a walk, look around.
Memories, man.
Not just amateurs showed up here today, but behind me is Derek Mandel, pro fighter out of Stars and Stripes.
Okay, so what's your role? Explain to everyone what's going on here. Why is it that you are walking laissez-faire through a bunch of people, like promo sparring and talking into a camera?
I was that guy, you know what I mean? Especially for Michigan. I was the only film guy The
I'm gonna
only
turn the
guy
volume
doing
down, and I'm gonna hit play and talk us. Yeah, just keep going.
Oh yeah, I was the only guy in the state of Michigan and pretty much abroad going west that was willing to be places and do what it took to interview, to talk to get to know fighters, as well as film the events and charge promoters a price that they could afford to have a film crew there to get their fights out to the YouTube. So like I have 6,000 fights on YouTube right now. And
Whoa.
there's Uriah
Recognize
Faber
this
right
guy?
there. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Uriah Faber right there. Hey, nice hair, Faber. that was my joke on him all the time. What kind of shampoo do you use? I
I
used to
just got to
pop
say
in.
that's the most recognizable chin in MMA.
Absolutely, that is the best dimple chin in MMA right there. So what happened is Uriah and a couple other people, and there's Darren Cruikshank right there, the number 5 head kick knockout of all time in the UFC. Pretty amazing fighter right there, man. I actually have a hernia in my belly because of him.
Oh.
And I'm not suing him. He's a wonderful guy, and I bet him $100 Houdini dollars that he couldn't kick me in the stomach and make me move more than an inch backwards.
You
And
got that fixed, right?
what's that?
You got that fixed, right?
Fixed? Oh yeah. I got it.
Okay.
It's back to normal now. It just popped my center line in my gut. It took me probably about a year.
Oh my God. Hold on. Let's like, whoa. This kick right here. Holy shit. Hold on. Let's all take a moment. Watch this. Dude, that is one of.
He is a Taekwondo extraordinaire, man. Yeah. There's
That is one of the cleanest kicks.
no end to his flexibility, man. Darren Cruikshank has
Dude.
Now he's a fireman. Now he's a fireman over in Detroit. He has a MMA top team. Michigan top team is in not MMA top team. Michigan top team is over by Detroit, and he runs a gym. Has a couple pro fighters, a lot of amateurs, good crowd. But he ended up becoming a firefighter, and he goes out once in a while out to Japan. Right there is Punchin is one of the brothers. Oh my God. Please, Jason, remember names. There's 2 brothers right now. They're fighting for the karate combat. And that's one of those 2 right there. Anyways, so Darren's amazing though. And there's Phil Jackson right there.
This has been going on for like 5 minutes. This poor bastard in the Star Trek red t-shirt is
That's
just
Mo Williams, yeah. Mo Williams on his back taking a beating from Phil Jackson, man.
But you know who else is a fireman is Stipe Miocic. That guy's a firefighter as well, a volunteer. So when he was doing MMA, being the heavyweight champ, he was also running around doing that at home.
Who? Pat Miletich?
No, Stipe Miocic, mate.
Oh, it's a Miletich.
Stipe, yeah,
Stipe.
that guy.
You're right
so
on.
yeah, I think
So
it's
these
just kinda
guys
fun.
came
So
out
they're
and-
all. This is a clinic, yeah.
Yes, it's not only a clinic; it was a draft. They were looking for the top fighters in Michigan, and they'd already went around and scoped out some fights of these guys. Mo's giving me a little talk right there. He's actually out of my hometown, and so anyways,
give it a little volume or no?
It's all right.
Okay.
He's doing his thing. He's just hyping up. He was having a good time. So yeah, freaking they come around and then they pulled off this MMA draft where they had tons of stations going on with different just exhibition as well as trying to see how good the guys were, and they were trying to pull guys into the UFC world and see.
So I got a question.
Yeah,
you've got all these guys all doing their thing. What is it that they are looking for, right? Like technique, the person with, like, what is it that you're watching 20 people all at once, shadow box one another, whatever. But then, I see something in this kid. What is it that they're looking for that they would see?
You got to have the whole
package.
Like,
okay, this is the one or whatever.
You got to have the whole package. The whole package. You got to have the ability to talk, the ability to fight, the ability to hold your ground, own the room when you're in it. You got to be a presence, not just a great fighter. They want great fighters. Don't get me wrong. They want you to show great athleticism. But everybody can
in a setting like this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're interviewing They're doing all sorts of different things. They're actually, where you see the ring over here on the left side, you see the corner of a ring.
Yes.
Over to the other side of that, later on in the video, you'll see that I'm actually filming a crew of people that are doing mock interviews where they're pretending like it's a full-blown live UFC coverage interview, and they're seeing what kind of verbiage you can use and how you present yourself and how you hold yourself in front of the camera too. And I used to get on the guys a lot about that. You see me walking around with that camera. It was on my whole, matter of fact, I got it right here so I could show you guys.
Nice. Okay. Oh, you muted on us, mate. Your mic muted. Cannot hear you. Cannot hear you. There you are. Oh,
There I am. All right.
there
So
you
I
are.
used to, that thing was what has been with me through the whole process. That is my oldest camera holder, and using that, I used to walk up to fighters from a distance, hold it right in front of their face, that camera, and tell them, "You give me the best you got," and like I'd give fighters that could really pump it up, sounding like Hulk Hogan, sounding like just a real hype monster, and some fighters that just couldn't talk. And
So
sometimes that ain't getting you nowhere, man. If you
it
can't-
isn't. May I
Yeah.
give you who I believe to be the godfather of MMA smack talk? This
Go
is
for it.
This is the godfather. This is where it started. After that, even Conor
You better be.
Conor
I was
McGregor.
about to say you better be going long before McGregor.
It's
'cause
not
there was
even
some good
McGregor,
ones, man.
because this is where
Was it Jason?
WWE and MMA combined. The undefeated champion of MMA, no matter what the weight class is.
It was all
Oh,
in the
fucking
plan, Joe.
Oh, I don't want to interrupt it, man. I want to let it flow because I'm an asshole if I don't. But I just want to say, notice that he started out very it was sincere, right? And then he turns it on. So let's just go for but he can't say shit. Stack
Right,
shit that
right.
I. Oh man, what an OG gangster. This
Yeah,
guy.
he was the Ric Flair of MMA, man.
Yeah,
straight
but
up.
nobody did this at anywhere near this level until he stepped onto the stage, man. This is like the
He's
beginning.
still at it.
And he is. But my point is, then you have everyone coming after, oh, this is how you sell a fight. So this is the beginning. And I know that he got interested in wrestling, and there's some behind the scenes where he was at promotions and doing, it's like, what's his name? Andy Kaufman. Like, he got really interested into the shtick and the whole thing, and he smushed it together. And all of a sudden, you've got Conor McGregor's, you got people that do it really well. Nobody does it as well as him, but you got people that just are dumb about smack talking. Like, if you're going to smack talk, you want to smack talk like this. Listen, if you're going to smack, how many hours did he practice that?
But critical, think about it, man. That guy just got done with probably how many rounds? I don't know how many rounds that fight was.
Yes.
And he went straight into
Yes.
now it's time to promote, man.
Yes.
He
Fucking
didn't hesitate.
awesome.
He knew how to switch off from I'm in fight mode, now I'm in shit talk mode,
Yes.
And it was gorgeous,
my
man.
God.
The guy astounded me every year. You usually got to see him fight once to twice a year back in the mid 2000s, or the mid 2000s. He didn't pull a fight but once or twice a year, and he was good about picking who he was going to fight, and he knew how to hype it up for that 6 months. So, Dana loved him. Dana loved Chael being in there. I always called him Kale, but whatever. I always got shit off of that too. But I
There's
pronounced a lot of
one
rings.
particular moment where we absolutely have to see this one, because Chael is the great one, and shout out to Chael.
Don't take away from Silva, man. Not Vanderlei, but Hoist Gracie. Sorry, don't take away from Hoist Gracie. That guy, even though he just seemed cocky, like he was
Hoist
doing his best
Gracie.
in English. Yeah. Oh, that guy knew how to talk smack. He knew how to get you mad. I think he's even cussed me out, bro.
Hoist
I've gotten
Gracie
cussed
is
out by
not-
Hoist Gracie. Yeah.
All right, I'm not disputing this. All I'm saying is it may not be well known. So
no,
maybe
probably
let's
not.
see if I can find something. But there's that interview. But then there's this, and you want to talk about wanting to see two people go at it. This is how you fucking do it. That's it. You don't need anything else. An EMP could have gone off and no one know what happened for the rest of that interview. And you're like, fuck this. So anyways, I think I've made my point. Chael is the fucking OG of like smack shit talking and making it entertaining. And you didn't want to watch any other fight than when on the card that he was on.
Nick was pretty good too. Diaz, he was pretty good at it, Like
I'm not saying
I like his style, but Chael is the champion.
My point here is he's the OG.
Yeah.
There wasn't anyone like him doing it at this level, and then everybody else is like, "Oh shit, I've got up my game."
Yeah, he was absolutely amazing. I never got a chance to meet Chael. That would have been a highlight of all of my career. But
he is still
I
following exactly 0 people on X for years. He's got 800 and whatever thousand. And
he don't need to. He doesn't need to follow anybody. He doesn't have to keep his timeline full of other people's crap.
Uncle Chael, mate. We need to talk about those glasses.
Jason Green? Why Green?
Are you talking like MTV Bully Beatdown?
Yeah, he hosted that. Oh. That guy had a hell of a mouth on him.
See, Doc Muggsy, good evening.
What up, homeboy? Thanks for tuning in, bro.
Man, we're glad you're here. Thanks for tuning in, man. Dude, Muggsy is the shit. So I'm so excited that he's taking time out of his week here to have fun and talk MMA. Because, dude, I don't know where to go because you have this like encyclopedia knowledge vault. Why don't you like when it comes to MMA? You've met so many people, had so many experiences. Bro. What would you say is what got you into MMA and like lead us from there?
Oh gosh, man. You people would call me a poser if they, but I'm gonna tell the story. All right, so I'm chilling. I'm a cell phone salesman at the time, right? I sell the Android had just.
What was the model? Okay, I was gonna ask.
The Android had just come out, man. This is 2009, 2010. The Android had just come out. This dude walks up to my kiosk. He says, "Hey man, my girl and I, we need some phones." So I hook him up, and he was like, "Hey, can you jailbreak these?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, meet me after work, and it's $50 and I'll do that for you, And I used to jailbreak those old phones all the time for people for an extra few bucks, And so I go over to he invites me over. We're sitting chilling, and he says, "Hey man, did you see my event?" And I'm like, "What event?" He's like, "Down at the Michigan Theater, man. I threw an MMA show." I was like, "I didn't even hear about it." I was like, "You got a website?" And he's like, "No." I was like, "You're throwing shows? You don't even have a website, or do you have a domain at least?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "Let me help you out a little more than what I'm doing." So I actually ran, beyond selling cell phones, I ran a computer repair company at the time. And so I knew how to build websites and all sorts of crap like that. So I got him going. That was the original Amateur Combat Sports. That was the name of his company. And so he's throwing shows. I built his website. I'm getting to know people, man. It's going real good. And locally, I'm like, wow, man, this is fun. So I throw some money down as a sponsor, put my name up there, throw my name up on that. And I want my name seen at the show, Keystrokes Computer Repair. That was the name of my company back then. And then he's like, man, he goes, if I could get this stuff on film, that would be awesome. I had no idea, bro, how to film. None. And I was like, I can take care of you. And he's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, give me a minute. And so it took me about a week. I bought some cams and I was like, dude, we got this. And so I put a couple guys up on the cage, told them, look, all you do is point at the action. I don't want you looking at nothing else besides ring girls. That's it. So for the first few shows, it was pure raw footage, and I learned how to edit. I learned how to produce. I learned how to put a show together. I did all of this through this one guy for probably about 8 to 10 months. And then after that, man, I got a phone call. There's another promoter. Hey, bro, you film for me? Here's another promoter. Hey, bro, you film for me too? And I'm like, holy crap, I'm making more money doing this than I am fixing computers,
And what I've got to say is that's where your heart is. If you love what you do and you're good at it and you get paid, like you don't even feel like you're working.
No, man. 15 years passed and I don't know where the time went. You know what I mean? Like, Yeah,
That's
like
amazing.
serious. I used to go out on the weekends and film, and I was a stay-at-home dad otherwise. Like I would get home, load up I would do 1 to 2 shows every weekend. Before I knew it, in Michigan alone, I had 23 different promoters that
So
had
is
me
this,
filming for them.
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Is this when you started ACS Live?
Yeah, well, so what happened is Jason got in a little bit of trouble. Not me, Jason, the other Jason, the Jason that
Okay.
originally started amateur combat sports. And I was also working, I got a little side job. I was working for a company called Barracuda Networks, and he calls me up and was like, "Hey, bro, I got to shut down, man. I'm not going to be doing that show this weekend." And I was like, "No, the show's going to go on. The golden rule, show must go on." I was like, "So what do you need that you don't have?" And he's like, "Man, we don't have our medicals done, crap like that." I was like, "Give me a few minutes." So I called up a few people. I got the kids moved, the kids being the amateurs, the fighters. I always called them the kids, but I got the kids to their doctor, got them doing what they got to do. And I said, "Hey, look, man, if you can't run this, what would you sell the company to me for?" And he's like, "I don't know." I was like, "Well, you owe me $5,000." So I
Okay.
was like, "I'll tell you what, I'll give you $100. And he was like, "All right." So I handed him $100 bill, and I already owned the amateurcombatsports.com. I owned the website. Everything was hosted by me anyway. So I just said, "All right, cool. It's all mine now," and there was nothing to sign over. It wasn't like a real business or anything like that at the time. So then I turned it from Amateur Combat Sports to ACS Live, and I put on the .tv on the end of it and said, "We are not throwing shows anymore. We are simply filming for you guys." So now the promoters trusted me more. You got to realize, man, that's 23 promotions that are all trying to make it. They're all trying to be seen and be the biggest guy on the block. And the only guy they all had to film for him and create their whole image was me. So I had to think, and then I ended up with 37 promotions, and I had to think through and build different images and all sorts of different logos and everything for all these different promotions. Like they're completely separate entities. None of them could break me. None of them could get me to kind of feed them a little info about what the other guy's doing that they're not doing. I was like, "Look, man, this is on you. I am your film guy. I'm not here to coach you." You know what I mean? They're like, "All right, Muggs, we trust you." All right, and everybody knew they could trust me. And that's what really built it. And then it ended up within about 4 years of doing it, the fighters declared me the mayor of MMA, and they knew that I was honest. My integrity
Whoa.
was strong, and we had a gigantic group on Facebook, probably about 4,000 to 6,000 strong, and it was fighters from
Wait,
all over
say
the
that
country.
again. Mayor of
Yeah,
MMA?
the mayor of MMA,
Dude,
and
that's awesome.
I had 4,000 fighters in a group on Facebook called the World of Fighters, and I was the only guy. I mean, this is my biggest claim to like how cool it was, bro. It was like I would be on there talking smack with all these guys. Like, "Look, bro, I know your wife. Quit talking smack. She ain't that good looking." You know what I mean? Like I would be talking shit to these guys, to these kids, and I would still show up on the weekend to those fights after getting threatened to get my ass beat. They were going to take me out back, and you can't talk like this to like another group of fighters would be like, "Oh no, you don't put your hands on Muggs. Muggs is allowed to say whatever he wants." And I was like
You're
Ariel
like
Helwani.
sacred ground.
Yeah, Ariel Helwani on like steroids, bro. Like there was no stopping me. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
And then I picked up one of the ring announcers. I
Oh.
picked him up as my podcast host, and he was Dave the Butcher Clifford. And he was my podcast host. He used to work for he took the place of Papa Schnacki out of King of the Cage. And then he ended up doing a bunch of local shows, and him and I became good friends. And we were a powerhouse, bro. We were the mad dogs of all MMA, and nothing got past us. The state ended up coming down on the promoters after about 12 years, and then they came to me and had me sit on Capitol Hill and describe to them what we needed, what kind of regulations we needed, what these fighters were lacking. Like I was one of the main proponents of me and Drew Gardner out of Ionia, Michigan. We would go up there. I'd film, I would sit and I would talk, and they like that was me, man. Like I was the biggest proponent to getting regulation in Michigan so we could have honest fights, and that got the big pro industries looking at these kids finally, because before that we were the Wild West of MMA. Anything went, bro. I'm talking junkyard fights, man. Like people would bring cages to junkyards and put up a cage over an oil pit, where they would be draining
Whoa.
oil and have fighters get in there fighting. And there's nothing the cops could do about it because there was no rules for it or against it. So there was nothing police or authorities could do about it. We could throw fights anywhere, anytime. I've seen cages fall in half. I've seen tents fall down on cages. I've seen fighters break their ankles.
This is where I have problems, right? It's like when you watch backyard wrestling, you just see some bad practices. People get hurt when they shouldn't. Now, on that note,
sharing mouthpieces, sharing cups. I've seen fighters pull their cup out and share it to another guy.
I'll share a cup before I share a mouthpiece. That's fucking awful. But what's his name? Oh, I'm blanking. The guy that came off the backyard bare knuckle black dude. What's his name? He ended up dying. But oh my god,
fuzzy hair black guy.
I
know what you're talking about.
Anyways, but that's the one thing that's really exciting about MMA. I just thought that was me thinking of a YouTube clip that I think would be really fun to play. But MMA, you never know what's going to happen. All right. So one of the fights that I can think to explain, I don't know the fighters' names, but you probably will, and you can chime in when you have the light bulb above your head go off. Okay. So I'm watching a heavyweight fight. I'm on the carrier, the aircraft carrier. All right. And I'm enjoying my meal and I'm watching free UFC, thanks to AFN. And, okay. So the one fighter, he's hourglass shaped, probably weighing in around 260. All right. And this is like 2010. All right. So then you've got like V-shaped torso Captain America, right? And it's a 3-round fight. And for 2.5 rounds, Captain America is just using Hourglass as a fucking punching bag. This guy was absolutely just eating punches for 2.5 rounds. To his credit, staying on his feet. And then he threw one punch that knocked him out. One punch. He was out before he hit the mat. But if you're a betting man or woman, you would be like, oh, no, this is definitely going to end this way. That's what MMA brings to the table.
Yeah.
Can you think of the fight?
You get a lot of surprises, comebacks from crazy submission holds, and then all of a sudden you're like, an omoplata, where did that come from? And like, you see a guy in an ankle hold, and all of a sudden they're twisted up like two snakes fighting, and then boom, losers on top, yanking an ankle and twisting a neck, and he's rolled backwards. And what that really is the joy of MMA, mixed martial arts. So many people still to this day consider MMA to be a martial art, and it's not that's it's you don't know what the guy you're fighting has really mastered through a couple arts that he's trained in.
Well, what's great is
the combination of American style wrestling, yes, jiu-jitsu is awesome, but Dan Severn himself has proved that American-style wrestling will outdo
wrestling
jiu-jitsu.
Is number one.
Wrestling is number one. But
yeah,
that double leg takedown to a guy that's just won 10 fights in a row through knockouts, and then all of a sudden he's got a wrestler just manhandling him on the ground. And
you got to admit,
the betting world was crazy for MMA.
From 1993 to 2023 to now 2026, like the evolution of mixed martial arts in 30 years or just over. There's never been another sport in that compressed amount of time that you're watching the evolution of every single year or two. It gets better and better and better. So what I've pulled up is Joe Rogan defending. This is when was this? This is probably 2010.
Oh my God. Yeah. I remember
this is him
interview.
Defending. Now it's a 7.5-minute video. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but Joe is actually defending MMA against a boxing promoter. And Joe is like, MMA is going to swallow up boxing. Now, for the most part, it has. And Joe is an actual boxing fan. But to his point, right? MMA has forced boxing promoters to actually have fights for the most part. boxers want to have. Like, what is it? Pacquiao versus who's the Mayweather?
Yeah.
Pacquiao and Mayweather happened after both of their primes, which is a crime against humanity. So I think MMA has had a positive reaction or a force, been a positive force for that. But let me do
you
this.
Wanted to talk on that, you and I could. I've got a lot of opinions on that one, man.
Yeah, so
Hey,
let's
Victoria,
watch
how
a
you
little
doing?
bit of this and see where we go.
Ultimate Fighting Championship started in 1993, put together to find which style of fighting would win in an actual bout. The legendary Gracie clan with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu got the better of karate, boxing, wrestling, and kickboxing. It's become so popular now, it offers 12 to 14 live pay-per-view events annually. And you might be thinking, how does it compare to boxing?
That's how old you know this video is, because they do one every week now. And I would argue it's too many. Once or maybe twice a month was the sweet spot, but I digress.
Well, you can strike with your legs. You can wrestle as well in UFC. Of course, you can't in boxing. It's not a tough man competition. It's not no holds barred either. No strikes to the groin, no gouging. It has
no strikes now. Back in the day, we should play some old school. Oh, we got to do that.
Out state regulation, not run from it. They fight 5 rounds. Bella and UFC commentator and all-round personality.
All right, so hold on. Let's just let's analyze how these chumps look. Joe, hat backwards, young, fucking fit as hell. And then you've got like, what's his nuts? Over here, he's got like Guido, the slick back hair, the necklace. It's like if the mob was to hire somebody.
The Guido look.
If somebody was to hire, like, I'm half expecting him to wear a tracksuit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, if he's not wearing Adidas running pants, man, something's wrong.
Joe Rogan. Joe, let me start with you. Will mixed martial arts peak and fall like kickboxing, or will it become a permanent part of the sports culture?
Oh, he's already folding his. Oh, fuck. Fuck.
With no way. Oh, I've got so many bad stories for boxing for you, man. Like, I'd probably get shot. I'll probably get hunted down if I told you the secrets behind boxing, bro.
Well, if I may, I'm going to translate into New Yorkese that I'm crossed as, look at this fucking guy.
Arts peak and fall like kickboxing, or will it become a permanent part of the sports culture?
Well, I certainly think it's a permanent part of the sports culture. It's a much more exciting sport than any of the other combat sports that are out there right now. And that's why it's here, and that's why it's the fastest growing sport in the world.
Lou, what do you think of UFC?
I'm not a big fan.
That's like Joe's hitting the speed back there. Gatlin gun of fucking info.
That
and
was
the guys,
prepared.
Oh,
Prepared.
yeah. That was an open. That was like a John. Yeah.
Fastest growing sport in the world.
Lou, what do you think of UFC?
I'm not a big fan, but I tend to agree with Joe that it seems to have a fan base. It's one company dominating an entire industry. My guess is that as long as they can continue to get young white guys to watch, they're gonna be there.
What a racist.
I think that answer is what killed it.
Oh my God. What a terrible fucking.
Continue to get young white guys to watch. They're gonna be there for a long time.
Do you think it stays around? Does it compete with boxing or overtake boxing, Lou?
It's got nothing to do with boxing. The same way wrestling has nothing to do with boxing. It's a different form of entertainment. It's in a cage.
Yeah, but
notice he doesn't call it a sport. Notice he doesn't.
He says it's
call
entertainment.
He calls it. It's like WWE. It's a sports entertainment. Yes, Victoria, he's an ass. This is why I wanted to bring this video up, because it's such a disrespect. This is not weathered time well. This is aged like milk.
Wrestling is fake. I mean, this is actual combat competition, Lou. That's very different from WWE.
Yeah, but it's sort of like human cockfighting in my view, or pit bull fighting. Guys are elbowing each other to the.
It's illegal. It's immoral.
Right.
That's his argument. It's illegal. This isn't 1993, dude, when they're having this discussion.
Yeah, New York was still
shit.
boycotting MMA. New York wasn't allowing shows.
Yes.
A couple states were like, no, you're not doing that here. So that gave the boxing world the whole credibility of, well, you can't just, it was stupid. And again, man, I've filmed a lot of boxing, a lot of MMA, a lot of jiu-jitsu, and the boxing world is as crooked as it gets, man. I don't even care.
Oh my God.
They can come at me all they want, but it's not a
No.
setup as far as what's in the ring, but the numbers are padded, bro.
How
The fighters'
greasy.
numbers are padded. If you've got a new fighter coming up into the boxing world, bro, they've been sent down to Mexico and been fed tomatoes for months, bro. These guys might as well be Italian. That's how many tomatoes they get fed, bro.
To your point, I mean, if the boxing world was objective, one could very well make the argument that Francis Ngannou beat Tyson Fury. They could make the argument, but let's not go there. Let's keep watching this fucking greaseball.
Heads, guys are kneeing each other. They get into leg locks and start rolling around on the ground in submission holes.
Joe, you can't respond to that first, Joe.
How is that human cockfighting? You know what that is? That's actual fighting. You know what boxing is?
talent.
Boxing is a very limited form of fighting. It's kind of a silly agreement. Say, like, we hate each other, we're going to fight, we're going to duke it out man to man, but we're only going to use our hands. That's it. What ultimate fighting is, it's the actual sport of fighting. It encompasses all aspects of fighting.
Watch this guy's body language. He could
Just
not
wipes
be
the
more.
floor with him right now.
Oh my
too.
God, he couldn't be more uncomfortable.
What ultimate fighting is, it's the actual sport of fighting.
adjusting.
It encompasses all aspects of fighting: ground game, kicking, punching, elbows, submissions, all the above. That's why it's much more exciting. That's why it's a much more dynamic sport. What boxing
I'll
is
jump in,
one
because
aspect of mixed martial arts.
If we ever advertise boxing matches on ESPN or HBO or any place else with blood splats like you do on your Spike TV show, the state athletic commissions would jump all over us. It's a different form of entertainment.
I have nothing to do with how they advertise it. I don't agree that blood is a very important part of the sport, and I actually don't agree that elbows are a very important part of the sport. You know, I think there's some aspects of the sport that could be changed or moved around, but the most important thing is that it's the sport of fighting. And what boxing is sport of punching. That's all it is. And there's so many aspects of boxing that are really ineffective, that don't really work in a
So there's going to be a part of this interview where he says something to the effect that, like, Joe doesn't like boxing, and then Joe's like, I love boxing. And totally turns it. So wait for that. All right, thank you so much, Victoria, for checking out the stream. We're glad you.
Thanks for popping in, Victoria. Good to meet you.
Absolutely.
real fight. All the bobbing and weaving and shoulder rolling, all the beautiful moves that Pernell Whitaker and James Toney and some of those. Well, I'm a boxing fan. I love boxing.
No, you're not a
And,
boxing
I mean, there's
fan.
some great. Yes. How do you say I'm not a boxing fan?
Because you don't get it. It's a science. It's defense is as important as offense. Guys like you would
I
never
totally
care about Willie
understand.
Pep or Pernell Whitaker or Floyd Mayweather. You don't
First of
get
all,
it.
you're wrong. I just said Pernell Whitaker. You don't know me, and you don't know what I'm a fan of. I am a fan of boxing. It's a beautiful sport, but it's a sport that encompasses one aspect of fighting. What ultimate fighting is a sport of fighting. What you guys don't understand, you guys are a dying breed. You boxing guys, oh, it's humans cockfighting. What you don't understand is your sport is getting swallowed. It's getting swallowed by a greater, more efficient, more spectacular sport.
Hey,
It's not.
credit
It's slowly getting swallowed. The famous people that you have right now are the only famous people that are going to exist in the future for boxing. The Oscar De La Hoyas, the Bernard Hopkins, the Jermaine Taylors, the guys that were already famous before UFC came along. There will be no new ones.
Hey, Luke,
they
can
will all
boxing-
go to MMA.
All right, so I think Joe would agree.
And he's on the
wrong.
money, bro. That was 2010. Who's
Tyson
come up?
Fury, man. I would say that Joe would probably eat his words a little here. That it's not gonna, because he'll
one
spend
or two boxers. Come on, bro. How many UFC people have come up in UFC that have gained massive worldwide attraction versus
I'm not
boxing
saying-
lately? You know,
No. I'm not disagreeing with you that your point is well made. What I'm saying is, Joe's saying is, there's gonna be zero new boxes. Zero new boxes. Well, there have been new boxes. That's all I'm saying. It's not zero, and that's okay. But he's in the heat of the moment. He's trying to get in a dig too. But this is, Joe a few years ago. Now he would be like, "That's silly. Why was he even in a spat with this guy?" He let it get a little emotional. But no, MMA had way more famous people than boxing. But it's not zero. It's not zero. That's my point.
Luke, can boxing respond to a sport that has cohesive marketing? Again, you're going to represent your fighters, but
Okay, I don't know that I can take the like the it just I've reached my fun limit and ability to consume that type of like
The
Piers Morgan for
the last
sports.
promotion I filmed for was I just finished filming for them like 2 years ago. October of 24, I did my last show for them, and they're out of Detroit. They had Motor City Casino. They had the venue for Detroit, and they had a mixed show, bro. Mixed show, boxing and MMA, both in the one show. You'd have a break. They'd bring the ring out, and then they bring out the cage, or they'd have the cage first, and the regular ring was easy to set up. But the crowds proved what people were coming to see, man. And even in Detroit, bro, the boxing world is fading. Kronk Gym, like that's the all-star gym for Detroit. Tyson come out of there, and you got oh gosh, the one, oh man, why am I doing this right now? Why is my head freaking flaking? Anyway, a lot of famous fighters out of Detroit, and as far as boxing goes, but now it's like now we're in this mixed bag, and it's even after 30 years of UFC, Michigan is now starting to lean more towards, all right, we love our MMA, and boxing's kind of faded away, and that's really how it's going for everybody. The guy who bought my network from me, he was a boxing promoter for Mexico, as well as having me do MMA here in the States, and go to Fight TV. And we're still trying to help him get his numbers up, and just nobody really wants to watch the videos, man. And for me, it was the opposite. It was 2010. I'm pumping out amateur fights like crazy, 30 to 60 fights every week I'm putting on YouTube from what I filmed, not just like scraping and finding stuff. Like these are fresh fights that I filmed, and the numbers were dismal. Nobody cared about amateurs, man, until right around 2014, 15, and then boom, it took off, man. Like my channel started picking up. I was getting invitations for more promotions, and I was not getting the calls to film boxing anymore. Like those guys were just like, the money's not there. I can't really pay a film crew. And I'm like, I'm $600 to $800. Like you can't afford $600 to $800, and that's how bad the numbers had gotten by 2015. That I only had one boxing promotion by the time 2020 hit, man. And when the big C hit, and everybody had to pull back, and nobody could go outside no more. But yeah, that kind of brought me down a little bit. And so that's actually when I sold everything. Sold the company. But boxing is cool. Boxing is great, and he's right. It is a whole dynamic of its own. And being a boxing coach, it was an amazing time, and I was able to show kids that very thing. The defense is just as important as offense, and you are standing and you are prepared to take a blow and give a blow at the same time. But you put those same kids in a regular ring where they've got to fight somebody who's fighting any way they want to, and they go down in a heartbeat. Boxing does not compare with the skills of MMA. Most boxers, I believe still to this day, that the Conor McGregor and Mayweather fight was completely fixed, and Mayweather, he paid him to not let Mayweather get hurt. Okay. A lot of that happens. Man.
It's hard to say. It's just
no, it's not hard to say. I've seen the money change hands, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's hard to say in the fact that you're wrong, but like it's just okay. Maybe I should rephrase. Thank you for calling me on that. It's hard to admit, right? Because you watch, like for instance, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, and how many people were snookered once you watch Tyson pull his punches? You're like, no, no, connect. That's what we wanted to see, man.
But it's like watching your favorite movie that you've known since you were a kid, and then all of a sudden somebody switches up something, and you're like, that ain't the way that goes. Because
we would
damn
like
well
to
Tyson
say,
don't fight like that. That's not the way
we'd like
he
to
fights.
say that there's integrity in sports. We know it's not the case. We know boxing, take a dive. Look at Pulp Fiction, right? Butch took a dive, or was supposed to anyways, whatever.
Right.
MMA, like basketball, has recently come under a huge investigation. But now you've got betting. The problem is betting, and it's everywhere. DraftKings, you got all these ways to bet, not in Vegas, this, that, the other. It's really insidious, and it's robbing men, a lot of men, women too, but of a lot of people, their wealth. So I don't want to get off on the betting thing. I'm just against it. But mate, let me ask you a question. Is that one of the fastest hours you've experienced? We've already been at this an hour.
It feels like I'm only like 2 or 3 questions in yet.
Right? So let's do this. Let's take a comfort break. I got a song, a little over 3 minutes.
Right on. Maybe we'll show people my fight. I actually took a fight. And
okay, we can do that.
Once. Yeah,
and I am very interested in the time.
Talk to you about the training and how that is, man. Embracing the suck.
Yeah, let's do that. And if you want to talk about the fighters you've encountered over the years, would love to hear that too, man. I'm here with Jason Mugg. Dude, we're having a great time tonight. If you are into MMA, you are tuned into the right podcast, whether it's live. We've been bringing your comments up and interacting. But if you're watching this after the fact, thank you for doing so on X and YouTube. We're live. We're going to take a brief comfort break. BRB. See you in just a momento.
Back in 2 and 2.
Welcome back, everyone. A shameless plug for myself. I have an AI album. I've created some stuff. The buffer music of
I like
the
that
CTD
one.
Experience, the Let Loose. We got the last call will be the end of the episode. But for those that subscribe to me on X, only $8 per month, you have access to my entire album. I've got some really good stuff. Close to 15 songs now. Equally as good. So check that out, guys. If you are so inclined, I'm joined by Muggsy, Jason Mugg. We have already talked last hour about his journey through the fest. that we're looking at the Dana White 72 to 86 hour. By the way, you said what I was really proud of you because you were like, yeah, I could eat dinner tonight, but I'm deciding to wait till tomorrow. And I thought that was awesome. Remind everyone, again, I'm not calling you a liar. I am thoroughly amazed because I'm like, I misremembered. In 86 hours, how much weight did you lose again?
It had to have been right about 45, like give or take 3. Because I went from 256 to 217 and then bounced back.
I don't even know what to say to that, guys.
Yeah,
but
those pictures, the pictures of the scale are inside the group that you made for us.
yeah, they killed communities, X did. That's the problem in May. Mate, that's so awesome. So we're having a great time here. Somebody that owned ACS Live, sold to Fight TV. This guy knows people and things and has been a fighter. Oh, what do you mean?
Yeah,
well, let me
I did
tell
that
you what
too.
I mean. We've got him brought up, man. So what I would love to do you want to talk about things and then watch,
This
or watch
was
and then
3
talk
days
about
after
things?
my 38th birthday.
How do you want to do this? Do you want to talk about your prep and leading up to this, or watch
Oh,
it?
sure,
and then-
man.
okay. What do
You
you
want to know
prefer?
something, man? The most exciting part to me was this was my hometown. Okay.
Okay.
The guys, I'd already been filming for almost 6-7 years now at that point. And the guys were like, when are you getting in the cage, dude? When are you getting? And I'm like, I'm the film guy. That's not me, man. And
Smart.
then Darren
Smart.
James Lee, Darren Cruikshank. James Lee's a big, he's friends with Herb Dean, hardcore, UFC referee, but he's also a pro fighter, goes around the world. And then Corey and his brother, they're, like I said, they're in karate combat. A bunch of guys, all got a bunch of coaches and guys were like, look, Muggs, you want us to respect you, bro? Get in the cage once. And I was like, really? That's what it's going to take? You guys don't
Whoa,
respect
that's
me already.
hardcore, man.
And they were laughing, it was funny. It was just a goad, like, come on, man.
Yeah, but
so I
you're
said,
putting
all
your
right,
body
guys,
at
I'll
risk.
put in the time and effort. I'm going to put in a full 8 months to a year of training, even though I've been watching the sport and been cage side and been in gyms. Like, I want to do dedicated training. And that's where it started for me, man. Like, I learned what embrace the suck was.
I have nothing but absolute respect for anybody that gets inside the octagon or a ring.
You're too bad.
It's the fact. Okay, so people that shit talk fighters, I have zero patience for. Right? Oh, they're a pussy. No, listen, you have not gone inside and put your health at risk. You're drinking a beer on your fat ass and you're doing zero. Meanwhile, we're staring at you getting ready to get to business. So shall we get after it?
Yeah, I was at 280. I actually came down to 255. The guy you're about to see me fight came from 425 pounds to meet me. He got to 270. We had to do super heavyweight, so because he couldn't get all the way down to 250. So I gained an extra 5 so I could go super heavy, and then he met me at 275. He's an amazing talker. Go ahead. What?
How tall are you?
I'm only 5'8", 5'9", right in between there somewhere.
How tall is he?
He was only 5'6", 5'7".
Wait, 5'6" or 5'7"
You're going to see the weight loss on him, man. The guy across the ring from me, he's sagging because he's got so much weight loss. His body's just like moving in 2 different directions at the same time. But his name was Mike Harold. Massive props, Mike. If you happen to watch this video, bro, still to this day, respect you. I'm 50 years old now. I had just turned 38 when this happened. That was 12 years ago, man.
So it's a 12-minute video. I don't know if you want to go through the whole thing.
The first 5 minutes or so are pretty solid. I can talk about a lot. See, that's Mike Harold right there. He's the one that came at me. I actually work adult foster care now and as a side job. And my boss, Mark, actually fought the same guy. That's
what
how my
year
boss
is this?
and I know each other. This is 12 years ago. So it was, let's see, we're in 6.
2014.
Yeah, 14. Yep. So he came in with a kick. I popped him off really nice in the beginning. No crossing of the feet. Do not cross your feet. Keep your stance. Own the center of the ring. That's what right there. He shook his head like, holy crap. I clocked him a good one right there. Then I come in with a decent kick. He really didn't land anything on me through 2.5 rounds. He didn't land a single punch.
Yeah, you're definitely holding down the octagon there. Okay. That was the
center was mine,
opposite.
man.
That was the exact opposite of not telegraphing. Like the arm swing, the whole, you're just like, I'm just going to move backward. Nice jab. So, friends, this is
That's what
Jason
I
in the
opened
ring
with.
here. How many people
Yeah,
are in
that
the
was me.
audience?
We had a crowd right around 450, 500.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this
I've
a
got
community
over
center
here
or?
over here on the side, you see a guy in the yellow shirt. That corner over there is my corner. I've got 3 coaches. I got 3 coaches from all over the state of Michigan. They came down to make sure that I had it down. Like I had so much support, man. But the real treasure of this was what I learned in the gym. And
Ooh, look at that feint.
what I learned about self-control, what I learned about breathing, what I learned about stance and in the MMA world. Like I had done boxing, but this was a whole different I was judging his kicks coming at me, and I was letting some of them slide in because you could see he had no power behind him. Yeah,
so let me ask you this: what's your record? This is your first fight, right?
Yeah. I'm 0-1.
I
ended up losing this. Yeah, I ended up losing this. This is my only fight. I lost this in the 3rd round. Got a small gash above my eyebrow from his thumb. Then I was up against the cage, and I grabbed the cage, man, to try to stand up. When I did, Vance, the referee, Vance Swernin, he came over and was like, Muggs, what are you doing? You know the rules, man. And
but when you're in like survival,
he locked in a rear naked on me and pulled back and got that leverage from me holding the cage, and it just slipped in.
What's his record?
He ended up going 3-1.
No, at this fight. Is this his
fight?
First
He was 2-0.
2-0. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, this is
everything.
fairly. But you guys are both in the ring, man, or in the octagon.
Yeah, he's an amazing fighter. Great kid. Really good kid. He's a motivational speaker now for down 3 Rivers and going towards Gary, Indiana.
Oh, man,
he's
that's awesome.
Yeah, he lost so much weight, did so much change into his life to meet me in the cage at this level, and then he maintained it, man. He's really like just an amazing human being. He really was.
So, you mentioned a gash above your eye. That's with a thumb. Do they put Vaseline like you see on the UFC when they walk?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There's my main coach. That's Quincy Rice. He's not with us anymore. He passed away quite a couple of years ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So
look at you not sitting down.
He talked like the typical coach. He was like, hey, Muggs, all right, look, man, I'm not giving you a drink of water if you don't knock this guy out. You understand me?
Neither of you are sitting down.
No, there's no sitting, bro. No, we didn't bring in chairs for amateurs. That didn't happen for amateurs.
Okay. Everyone has their own path, I guess.
Yeah. A lot of our fighters, a lot of them were just. I mean, okay.
The
UFC has a card
with big a deal.
The UFC has the undercard and then the main card. That's a total of 15 fights in one night. That is a long night for watchers. You know what I'm saying? 15 fights is a long night. Most MMA fights, most MMA nights in amateur world was 20 to 30 fights in one night, because most amateurs finished within like a round. You know, they were, but him and I went 3 rounds. I went 3 rounds with this.
No, that's impressive, mate. Look at you touching gloves.
This is round 2.
You're getting after it. Ooh, look at us turning on, pressing the pedal, put the gas on.
I'm finding every opening. Every time he went to block another direction, I let him go ahead and just pummel my waist. And I got a little confused there for a second. I lost my balance, lost my freaking train of thought. That'll kill you in the ring, man. Like, I'm not going to butter it up. Like, there was a lot of times, like right there, I'm starting to get winded, man. I'm starting to, I called it chewing oxygen. I was chewing oxygen like cake, bro. I could not get a breath for nothing.
Oh, the spinning back fist.
Yeah, he did pretty good with that one. He threw one in here in a minute that he wasn't even standing by me, and some reason threw a full spinning kick.
So is this before or after the calf kick was discovered?
The what?
Calf kick.
I believe before.
CALF, calf kick.
The calf kick. Yeah, no. Actually, you want to heel kick the calf. When you're in tight there up to the cage like that right there, you want to reach out and just start whacking on their calf with your heel of your foot, and it just buckles you.
It was around this time that the calf kick became
kind of
very
illegal.
Popular.
We frowned on it a lot.
you may frown on it, but the UFC made it. I mean, 1 to 2 kicks to the calf, and people were like not able to move their leg well.
See me breathing right there? I'm just looking for it. I'm trying to get in the guillotine. I'm trying to breathe. I'm like, all right, I can hold him here for a minute while I catch my breath. This should be all right, but he slips out of it right here, man.
That's a lot of conditioning. I mean, this people don't realize.
Yeah, I pushed him off. Yeah,
but also you've got to realize you're going into the octagon for the first time. So there's definitely like, do you feel like there's an adrenaline dump?
You want to hear what? Not only is the adrenaline there, the dump don't happen till the fight's over. You don't lose that.
Okay,
adrenaline.
So not now.
But let me tell you something. That cage with all them holes, it's just wires. When you get in there and that bell rings, they're screaming. You don't hear it. It is silence. It feels like the whole world disappears, man.
Whoa.
And it's only you and your head inside that ring. And just looking at that other guy, watching what he's doing, everything focused. I couldn't hear nothing. If you listen to the volume, the guy on the camera you're looking at right now is my cousin Brad. I hired him that weekend to come and film for me because I was taking a fight. And every so often you hear him screaming. In the beginning of the fight, you'll hear him, yeah. He's like, and I'm like, you can't scream behind the camera, dude. Like you can't do that, you know. But no, man, it was absolutely insanely focused inside that cage.
Well, since you're talking about the crowd, let's hear how loud they are. So you don't hear any of that. That's wild. What about in between rounds right here? Do you hear them?
Oh, yeah. In between rounds, you start to get the feeling of the audience, and it starts coming back. And here, all I can hear is my coach at this point.
So you said the first 5 minutes. You want to keep going?
Oh,
or
it's fine.
I want to respect your time here and to get to all the subjects.
You're fine. You can ask me anything you want. Some good series I did now. Beyond Me Fighting, man, that was awesome. And I actually recommend to everybody. Not just somebody who's interested. I recommend to everybody, get out there and take a jiu-jitsu class, take a kickboxing, go to taekwondo, go to karate, even as much as I hate karate. But it's like go take a class.
Leo Machida would dip with you, sir.
Yeah, he would, wouldn't he? He'd hate me for that. The day I met Hoist Gracie was at a karate gym. And I was like,
no, I think it's to your point, man. I think in today's age, you watch all these viral videos of, sneak attack punches or people acting a fool or, a fight breaking out here that like to have the basics to like, first of all, run. Don't ever become involved in a street fight. You never know how it's going to go. You never know what's unfair, what's going to damage you. Like if somebody picks you up and dumps you on the ground, that's cement and your head is likely to bounce off that. Don't be in that. Get out of there. If that's not an option, know how to defend yourself. That's all we're saying. You don't, or better yet, conceal carry.
You're in America. Conceal if you want,
But we're not advocating violence, but like there's a
if you can't run 4 blocks comfortably, don't get in a street fight, okay?
Yeah.
You are either running that 4 blocks until that guy tires out.
Well, Jocko Willing said,
or you need
what are you going to do if somebody approaches you for a
street
street fight? And he's like, I'm gonna run. And he's a jiu-jitsu black belt, 240-pound fucking gorilla, Navy SEAL commander, war hero.
Seen that
he's
interview.
Like, I'm running. I'm going to run.
There's no point in taking that fight on the street.
No.
It's like arguing with a cop.
There's
no point in it.
Too many variables, man.
Yeah, very much so. And you don't know how the other guy's going to cheat because even if you are trained in jiu-jitsu, MMA, stuff like that, that guy might still poke your eyes, punch you in the bobos, like different things like that. You don't know what's going to happen. Like there are no rules on a street fight, and somebody who simply knows some good wrestling skills could take you out in a heartbeat just because you know some boxing and how to kick. You just don't know. It's better to just avoid it. It's better to say, look, man, I don't have a problem. Here's my wallet. Have a great day. I can go get a new ID, man. I'll get on my phone and cancel my cards right now. Have a great day. If you want my wallet that bad, like you're only getting a block before I have everything canceled anyway. Whatever. You know, it's like it's just not worth it, dude. It
Well,
really is.
speaking of which, in the original UFC, there were 3 rules. They say it was ruleless, but no. Ooh, I had to sneeze. Whoa, I don't know where that came from.
Bless you, sir.
Okay, wow. All right, so there's 3 UFC rules. Well, number 1, no fish hooking. Number 2, no eye gouging, and number 3, no small joint lock manipulation. I can't take your index finger and fucking bend it 180 degrees. Like those are the. But you could, tee off on someone's balls.
But
all
that's
day
not
long,
Fry. You can punch
like
him in the nuts.
like a damn speed bag. You could kick, and they didn't wear mouth guards, so people had lost teeth. All this shit was going. And so the challenge of our time together here tonight, mate, is to like, man, how do we talk about the important stuff? We can talk about other stuff later, but like not go off on rabbit trails that are all perfectly fucking awesome. And I'm fighting it. I'm
I've
fighting
been
it
kicked
right
out
now.
of ringside, being paid to be there and being kicked off of ringside for just talking too much. Matter of fact, that was the Clay Guida thing I was talking about. I got hired to take pictures. Then one of their judges bailed, so they didn't have a judge. But so they were like, "Look, man, can you judge? You're from Michigan. You're down here in Iowa. Like, can you do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, man, no problem." They're like, "Okay, but we need you to go pick up Clay Guida. Can you do that?" And I'm like, "Where's he at?" They're like, "At the hotel." I'm like, "All right, cool, man." So I run over to the hotel, pick up Clay, come back. Me and him are laughing, having a good time, getting to know each other. We know Militich and whatnot, and then as far as that area goes, and the whole Quad Cities MMA crowd is huge. And then him knowing people I know in Michigan, and so we had a good banter. We got there to the stadium, and he's cage side, probably about 3 people over from me, and I'm judging, and we're still bantering back and forth. They're like, "Look, dude, you gotta focus on the fights." I'm like, I can see what's going on. That guy's up 14 points. It's fine. And they're like, "No, dude, like the commission is over there bitching about you're talking too much." And I'm like, talking with somebody that's not even. Oh, he's a coach. And that was what the problem was. Is I got booted because Guida was actually one of the kids' coaches, so they thought I was like manhandling the numbers, and I was like, no, it wasn't nothing like that, Like I'm not that guy, Like I'm doing a fair fight here, but yeah, I ended up getting kicked out of cage side for that. That was funny. It was pretty. I had to sit outside in the lobby for the rest of that fight night, man. I drove 700 miles for that thing. Me and my buddy Butcher, and I ended up having to sit in the freaking lobby.
So I'm trying to guide the discussion a little here. I'm trying to think what I would like to know if I was listening. And I'm thinking, who are some of your favorite MMA fighters you've personally interacted with, and who are douchebags?
Okay, I'm going to start with the 50-50.
And I will say that. Sorry, I will say this. Jason gave me the go ahead to ask that question.
Absolutely.
I'm not putting him on the spot.
I'm going to start with the 50-50, cool as fuck, but still a douchebag, was Nick Diaz.
I believe it.
Just saying, man. I spent a whole weekend with him. I was his film guy for the whole weekend. I got hired by the promoter that paid to have him flown out from California here to Michigan, and that promoter paid me to just stay by his side. We went around town all day. All I ever heard out of his mouth was, when are we gonna get something to eat, man? When are we gonna you got something to smoke, bro? You guys, like, can we go get some weed? Can we do this? I'm like, yeah, man, we need to talk though. We need to do some cameras. Oh, I ain't all into that, man. I don't want to be doing none of that. I'm like, so anyway, so then it boils down to like the party night after the fight's over, and we go back to the promoter's house, and there's a bunch of people there. We're all partying. And then I get the word camera off, no camera. I'm like, fine, whatever. And me and Nick end up sitting. And so at this point, I'm like, Nick's a freaking deadbeat, like I just didn't, there was no chemistry there. I couldn't get him to open up. He was looking at me like I was a douchebag reporter. So we were kind of beefing on each other, but he knew that I was hired. He was hired. It was all fine. But then later that night, we ended up going campfire side. and just sitting around the campfire, and slowly people started just passing out, dwindling out. People are all messed up, and me and him are smoking a bong, and I break out some wax, and I'm like, here, man, I got some wax. He's like, why didn't you have this earlier? And I'm like, because I was working. I don't do that while I'm working, man. I'll lose focus everything I'm doing. He's like, oh man, I couldn't work without him, And we started laughing, and all of a sudden it just broke open, and we sat together till almost 6 a.m. until he was like, man, I gotta go to bed, man. Yeah. And we just talked about the kid fighters. We talked about like kids jujitsu and what there is to be done to bring the younger audience, not audience watching, but the younger kids into the sport, and what we can, and he was like, wow, talking about what I'm doing for the amateurs and what he's doing for, he teaches all sorts of classes and stuff. Man, it turned out to be great. I didn't have the camera on for none of it because I was told camera off. And it was just me and him chilling. And he was like, you're not like a reporter. I was like, no, man, I run a sports network. I'm like, the ESPN of MMA, And he was like, oh, okay, man. It's like, I had 15%. That's it. I only had, because UFC is so huge, as well as Bellator and other things like that. So I had 15% of the MMA viewing audience. And so that got me a lot of credibility. It got me constant tickets to any UFC event if I was there. Bellator was any 4 states that they were around. He would get a hold of oh, come on, Jason. The original owner of the Bellator was oh, God bless me. Anyways, him and I got along really good, and he had tickets for me all the time. So my cruise, I could send my cruise to Pennsylvania, up north, Michigan, over to Wisconsin and stuff, and we were allowed to cover Bellator anytime. But I was a smaller amateur, crowd, that put me in the lower ranks, but it also got me those sweetheart, like, just one-on-ones. Dan Severn, I've been down to he's got his own facility in Coldwater, Michigan. He's hanging out with Don Fry now, and they're doing like a podcast, but this was far before that, man. This is almost 13 years ago. I went down to his facility, and he's talking to me about starting a whole new reality show, because his facility could literally house 18 fighters. You could go 9-9 with 4 coaches on each side and do it like the Toughen, like Ultimate Fighter. But at the same time, the kitchen, they all live in the same facility together, train together, do all of this. It was really cool what he had.
Can you imagine all the protein farts under one roof? Yeah,
all the protein whey, man. There's a fortune in whey going out the door there. But Dan Severn was absolutely one of the coolest guys.
He's actually my favorite MMA fighter of all time.
Even at his age now, man, that guy is as excited as he ever was about the sport.
Yeah, he was a two weight class champ, but then he went to WWF or whatever it was at the time, and did that. Man, he is my
Shamrock
favorite.
both. Him and Shamrock both.
Shamrock did, and Shamrock is probably better known. But I just want to say that Seven, mate, you are my favorite MMA fighter, UFC fighter of all time.
Yeah, I had to be the cameraman for Shamrock one day. That was hilarious.
How was his roid rage? Because that was back in the day where everyone was on fucking gear. And don't tell me that guy wasn't on steroids.
I had quite a few camera off moments with him.
Oh,
camera
my
off,
God.
like,
dude.
He was standing there. He was doing like a public presentation, right? And so he was at this event.
Hold on, real quick. I imagine him. And tell me if I'm wrong, and incorporate this in your expounding. I imagine him not dissimilar from the Ultimate fucking Warrior.
You are so spot on. Like
I knew it.
He was so detached from anything happening around him. The words coming, he ended up not even speaking to the people at all. He was supposed to do a whole like stand up at the podium and be like, hey, how's everybody doing? And he just looked at me, goes, you know what, man, my knees are fucked. I'm out of here. And I was like, where are we going? He goes, let's go back, man. I'm going to get a drink. I got to pump my knees with some juice. And I was like, yeah, man, he's cortisone in his knees, like taking shots of the knees. And
Imagine that's your world, right? Like you've got all this going on. People would love to hear what you got to say. You're bigger than life in that moment, in that time, and da da da. And the only thing you're thinking is, I got to blow off absolutely all of this to go inject my knees.
Yeah.
Like
Yep,
what?
because he couldn't stand anymore. It was like
Yeah.
an hour and a half. That was it. It's all he could handle. He couldn't stand anymore.
So I mean,
His
I'm trying to
attitude was
imagine living in
absolutely
that headspace. Like I'm trying to have empathy just a little, but man, that's wild.
it breaks you down, man. Everything he put himself through, and
Well,
then
you
it
look at
could have
Ronnie
been genetics,
Coleman
but
and all these guys, the way they work out, right?
yeah.
Cain Velasquez torched
Big
his
shout out
back.
to Coleman. Big shout out to that man. Do you know what he's come back from, bro? That man has come back from
Oh,
the grave, man.
for sure.
Coleman's
Yes, he
amazing.
saved his family from the fire. Is that moonshine, by the way, or water?
Oh yeah, I drink a whole mason jar of moonshine. No, it's water, bro. I wouldn't.
Oh,
I don't-
fire water.
I don't even really drink that often at all, man. Maybe twice
Well,
a
I
year
won't.
if that.
I'll got it.
But no, Coleman freaking more than that, man. That man, he admitted it. It's all over he had a bad drug problem. He slipped and slid into a very bad situation of life, and he came out of that. He was on his deathbed in the hospital. They told him he was going to die, and he just said, "No, I'm not." And
Well, he also
came,
saved people, was his family or his parents or someone. He had smoke inhalation and was almost ready to die as well. Like
that
dude,
was a couple
that
years
dude.
before that, if I'm not mistaken.
Ugh.
Which I
I want
probably
to say it
am.
was 5 years back. I'm going to look
Yeah.
it up. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I think if that was 5 years ago, then that was after his drug rehab recovery. Then, but it was a couple.
All right,
years
here we
ago.
go. In March 2024, UFC Hall of Famer Mark Coleman heroically saved his elderly parents from a devastating house fire at their home in Fremont, Ohio. Awakened by his dog at 4 a.m., Coleman managed to get his father and mother to safety before re-entering the burning house to try and rescue his dog, ultimately suffering severe smoke inhalation. And I remember he was like, they sedated him in the hospital and he woke up. But dude, March 2024. That is awesome.
Yeah, he's got a hell
Dude
of a
is a
story,
hero.
man. Coleman was a champ in the ring, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that
he was
guy-
on some fucking gear. Everybody was back then. It just was expected.
There's
but
no
like,
regulation against it.
his
you know,
ground and pound was unrivaled. That's when they could wear wrestler shoes. It was a whole thing. He was the first, if I'm not mistaken, light heavyweight and heavyweight UFC champ.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm not great with stats on UFC, and
What a
and
goat.
I'll tell everybody that. They're like, "Oh man, UFC this and that." I'm like, I film amateurs, and they're my life. Like I rarely had time to sit back and watch a UFC event. Once in a while, we'd throw a UFC party, and have some fun. If that wasn't a weekend that I had to be out filming, most promoters would try to not throw a show on a UFC weekend. But the majority of parents, uncles, aunts, cousins, and friends that wanted to come see their buddy fight didn't care if the UFC was on. They'd rather go to a live show, and
All right.
for $20-$30 a ticket, why not? Right.
So I've got something here, man. This is a minute 8 of Coleman in the hospital. They're going to visit him. I got to warn everyone, your heart is going to be warmed, and you may wonder who is cutting the onions.
Oh, look who's here.
I don't go shoes. I didn't do the pills.
What?
And then she did the pills. I'm the happiest man in the world. I swear to God, I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
Can't believe my parents are alive. Yeah. I had to make the decision once because I got out of my room and went to the door and it was already horrible. I couldn't breathe. I almost had to go outside. And I went back and God, I can't believe it.
Amazing.
I couldn't find hammer.
Open your mouth. Let me suction that out, okay?
Mark the Hammer Coleman.
That to
Wow.
me, That to me is, and I'm not trying to exploit him at all. To me, this it's hard to not be emotional. This to me is braver than anything he did in the octagon.
Oh, absolutely.
What an amazing human being. Mark Coleman, shout out, mate. Shout out.
Making that
If we
decision
could
to run
only
back in, yeah,
if we could only all be like you, sir. Oof. So that's what I was referencing. Like, oi.
yeah.
That is rough, man. But that's the kind of heart. It's unsurprising because
He
you look at
deserves
him in
hero
the
status.
octagon.
He really does. In a lot of ways, not just what he did there. That guy deserves a hero status, man.
Yes.
He done
But
a lot
it's
to
like-
change his own life, but he changed 100,000 other people's lives, man.
But the fact that he did what he did, the fact that he went and saved his parents in that fashion and his dog, everybody's like, yes, that matches what we saw in the octagon. But this is not like in a but watching him hug his loved ones, it's just is so endearing. And you're like, there's more to life than the octagon. There's more to life than fighting. Well, there's every fighter is a person and they have a family and they have orbits around them and what's dynamics and what is, but it's like when you watch a musician. I'm a trumpet player. I did a trumpet CTD experience only last weekend, but you watch a trumpet player only put the trumpet to the mouth and play. And then, but you're not thinking, how was the day? How was the breakfast? Are they dehydrated? Are they stressed out? No, you're just like, I just want to watch everything else I've ever seen, put the trumpet to your face, play the music and play it well. It's like the same with a UFC fighter. But when you see a UFC fighter like this, a legend like this, there's a perception change on a level. And I don't know that I have the words. What would you say might be the words? If you have any, I mean, not that you do, but it's just so moving.
Yeah, like I was saying, he honestly deserves, he's just a hero, man. It's not just about saving his parents, it's the mentality Mark has. Like, I've known people that know him and never anybody has anything other than to say, that guy's like literally willing to give you the shirt off his back. Seriously, here you go. And if you're cold here, man, I don't need it. I've got plenty of heat in me. Like, that's the kind of guy he always has been. Like I said, he got in a hard time, but at the same time, when he came out of that funk in his life, he apologized to the world for turning into that person, and then said, I'm going to change this. And watching him come through that was like, this guy is a champion at everything he does. And in every way he performs in life, everyone around him is better for it. Simple as that, and he's a hero to me. He always has been. And he's done amazing stuff. I've had fighters that have gone out to Vegas to train with him in the Couture crowd, and he's come up to Michigan to help out with people here. We've sent people down there to Ohio to hang out with him and get some teach. And all of them come back with, I will never have that kind of experience ever again in my life. Like, that's the kind of guy he was, man. It is, he's still with us. So, but yeah, just a straight up hero, 100%, man. I've only been in the same room as him and never even got to shake his hand that night. I was so busy with everything I was doing. And, but that's the way I was, though. I didn't force myself. I was never the guy that forced myself into line. You know what I mean? And like, hey, man, I want to meet the famous guy that's here. And it's like, we're all famous. So somebody here is going to be famous one day. And it's my job to make sure that gets done right. But Mark was always amazing, man. And I give him, I just mad love for the character that he is.
I mean, anybody that cannot just empathize and have a little bit of, you have to have a brick for a heart if you're not moved here. Mark Coleman, mate, shout out. You are an OG in every sense of the word. And thank you for being you, man. We are so glad that you're well, but also the history of the UFC. Man, I mean, when you think about it, it's not like boxing's been around for whatever 120 years. MMA 30, let's say 33 years. Not long, but the evolution of seeing things in that amount of time is so crazy. So, are there other fighters that you might have a story about? I think when we were talking before air, you were mentioning that you were on a podcast with Ric Flair's. I mean, let a rip, Tater Chip. We would love to hear more if you're willing to.
Ric Flair came about. That Iowa connection I had that got me a lot of shows in Iowa was Chris Maltzberger. Big shout out to you, bro. Ran UMOR radio on the old school Blog Talk Radio, man. And he was the one that helped me start podcasting. He got us Ric Flair. He didn't know it, but his dad he had given me the number, is how it worked. And he was like, look, man, I got Flair's number to his agent. Like, if you can get him on, that'd be great. Do you think you can get him to say happy birthday to my dad? We're like, we got this, man. So we actually had Ric Flair on there, and we talked for about an hour and a half, man. I'm the producer, so I'm the guy behind the scenes doing what I do. And a couple times I jumped in with a woo, and then my buddy, the Butcher, who was my co-host on the podcast, was also a ring announcer. And Ric Flair gave him permission that night to use the woo in the ring. Like, it was just amazing. Like, we had a really good talk and a really good time with him. Learned a lot about his family and his history in wrestling. But some of my more memorable people were like Stitch Duran. If you know who Stitch Duran is, one of the main cut men for the UFC.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I believe, like absolutely phenomenal human being, man.
If I may, the most Mexican looking dude in the UFC ever.
Ever. He is the most Tom Selleck looking Mexican guy.
Tom Selleck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I gotta find a picture.
He was
keep going.
Some of my hard motivation is always, and it's funny because it's always been the sideline guys. It's always been the outside the cage guys, because those are the guys I talk to the most, the coaches, the cut men, the trainers, those guys. Those are the guys I usually stick with most. One of the main coaches in the UFC right now is out of Lansing, Michigan here.
Tell me that's not the most. That's like, oh, come on. That is Mexican Tom Selleck.
Oh my gosh. The name of the guy that played the Joker for the movie Joker. He also did his
Joaquin
first name.
Phoenix?
Joaquin Murcielago. Sorry, man. I could not get Murcielago's name in my head. Joaquin Murcielago is like one of the best coaches for MMA in the world, in my opinion, period. Hands down. One of the greatest coaches, has taken so many people to the ring, to the octagon, hundreds and hundreds of fighters. And he's a big proponent for bringing fighters to the UFC. They lean on him a lot. And he got Chaos Williams in, but Joaquin Murcielago is one of the most humble, absolutely wonderful coaches ever. Doc that worked for him taught me so much stuff about boxing and hand control. And it's like, those are the people that you really remember. The fighters are busy, man. You know what I mean? The fighters are busy. They got a lot going on, but you get a lot more time with the coaches and the sideline people, and stuff like that. Like even the ring girls, like I remember my ex-wife used to think, you saw me in the ring. I was a pretty fat middle-aged guy, you know what I mean? Pretty fat 38-year-old, and she'd think, oh, are you messing around? She'd think I was messing around with ring girl. I'm like, honey, there's 45 fighters here who completely fit physical. I'm not messing around with ring girls. I talk to them because it's fun to get these side interviews. You know what I mean? And a lot of my better interviews on like my Gloves series, if you type in fight.tv Gloves series, because it's Fight TV now, it's not ACS Live anymore, but you could still type in ACSlive.tv Gloves series and you'll see a lot of interviews I have. There's a lot with fighters, but mostly with coaches. And that's where I found the meat, bro. That's where the real meat and potatoes is at, man, is talking to these guys who are training the fighters. they don't know nothing they aren't taught. You know what I'm saying? But another one of my favorite coaches was Couture to meet. He was actually pretty humble, cool guy. And
Whoa,
he had
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Randy,
whoa.
Matt Randy.
I had
Randy was cool, man.
Listen, before my pinned tweet of Mac from Super Troopers for like 2.5 years was Randy Couture promoting my account because I paid him to do so on Cameo.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. Oh my God. So I've got to, okay.
He
Before we
actually
go
made a
any
mention
further,
to me about Cameo, man, and he was like, "This is where the money's at, bro. Fighters can't
dude,
pay their dues."
I paid his ass handsomely.
Oh,
All right,
at
hold
least
on.
500, right?
No.
No.
I got off. No, I wish I didn't. No. Hold on. Just I'm trying to do things. The problem is I try to do too much at once, and it's not going well for more. This bookmarks. Give me a sec here.
Oh, how you blew us up on the screen?
No, I'm checking my bookmarks. I thought I'd had it all good to go, but apparently I did not. Just hang tight. Hang tight. Keep vamping.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Another one of my favorite promoters of all time passed away last year. That was Big John, not Big John McCarthy, but Big John's MMA out of Northern
Big
Michigan.
John's great.
And much love to him. Big John McCarthy is cool. They actually beefed a lot because Big John McCarthy's from Wisconsin. So my buddy Big John Eubanks lives in Northern Michigan and uses the UP that connects to Wisconsin. So they kind of beefed about having that name. But McCarthy was like, "Man, you're a cool guy," and I used to hang tight with him. And John got me all sorts of freaking.
Oh man,
yeah,
Big John.
I met Max
Listen,
Holloway.
Anybody that Jason is mentioning tonight, if you guys want to come on, dude, Jason, you got to wrangle all these cats and let's have a big ass MMA chat next round on the podcast if they're willing. All right, so here is Randy. Dude, this is such a good promo. This was my pin post. First pin tweet, but then once X became
This is a
X,
tough son of a bitch right there, man.
So,
that
wait.
guy's nails.
So
he eats nails for breakfast.
I'm so excited. This is a fucking blast of 30 seconds, 37 seconds. Enjoy.
Oh, you had to dig
What's up,
4
everybody?
years.
It's Randy Couture. Hey, you got to check out this guy's Twitter account, CTD. Catch up with this guy. He's something else. If I ever find him, he owes me a lot of money. No, he doesn't owe me money. Worth a look. Critical thinking at its best. Maybe you guys can have a cocktail together. You never know.
You know
Take
it.
one back, have a good single malt or something like that.
Let's go.
I mean, if we're critical thinking, you got to have some single malt,
Yes.
right?
Duh.
Hope CTD continues to grow. All the best, you guys. Be well. Keep embracing the grind.
Keep embracing the grind, dude. That is my boy. Randy is a hero to me. He is so cool. But yeah, tip one back.
I got respect for that single malt too, man. I'm a Scotch guy, so Scotch is
he
my
was
drink
so
of choice.
cool.
So
he nailed it. I've actually done a couple different cameos. I won't name who, but there's two that were like, I gave them like good examples, but they just didn't pull it off. And then of course I've got my I feel like I need to do my my pin post. And you'll see why. This is a shameless plug by your harmless, lovable little fuzzball, CTD. Enjoy. Let me run this back. Here we go.
Oh, well, look who it is. CTD, the critical DRI1.
You recognize him, right?
Steve Lemmy?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this motherfucker is full of bravado, but the only time I ever met this dude, he got outdrank by everybody in the bar. He skipped out on the tab, owing everybody money, and the reason he did that is because he shat in his pants. Anyway, give him a follow on X, at the critical DRI1.
Say shenanigans one more time.
Not to be confused with TRI2, because that is the Scotsman. No, so much fun. And
Right meow.
Oh yeah, but I'm kind of using this as a moment of teaching for those, because today's XPay day and people are always lamenting and they're like, why not? Why is my account not growing? Whatever. Okay, if you have politics or you have like a certain subject, great, but you've got to have fun. You've got to use humor. Otherwise you're not going to reach. You want to build that audience so you can spend that capital. And my pin post's a way to do that. And Randy, what a great sport. He was.
You know
awesome,
what, man?
He
Let
nailed
me
that.
talk on you for a minute. All right. Let me go ahead and float your boat for a second, bro. Fill your head up, blow your head up a little bit. You're amazing, man. Your posts are absolutely hilarious. I was totally on board with you when you were mad about the drop in the viewers because the algorithm switched up. And I saw it, man. I saw it firsthand. I knew you were not being just a whiny poster that was like, oh, well, where did all my people go? No, man, you have a hell of a crowd. You do a really good job at making fun of the right people at the right time. Your memes are hilarious, bro. And you have always been a treasure for me to watch, man, and follow a lot on Twitter. You are seriously like, I'm in the blockchain and crypto world. That's what I do. And that's my new profession. Now I build software on that and stuff. And I am always going back and making sure I follow down your timeline and see what's going on and see what's happening, because you're always bringing a laugh, man. And it's not always serious, freaking like, oh, this guy screwed this guy over in politics, whatever. And no, it's like, yeah, this bad thing happened and this is funny about it, and I've always been that kind of guy that looks for the humor and everything, and you bring it to the table for me, man. And I've always enjoyed your posts. I'm honored to be here right now. I was bragging you up all week. I'm like, Critical Thinking and Drinking is bringing me on his podcast. This guy's like almost 70,000 followers on Twitter, and I think his YouTube is blowing up. He's doing a great job. And like, for some reason, he wants me to come on and talk about my old MMA days. And this is awesome. Like, I've never been invited on a podcast. Well, I mean, back in the day, but not recently. I haven't been invited on to talk MMA with anybody. It's been a good 6-7 years since anyone's even reached out to me to talk about MMA. So I was like, wow, man, this is maybe my new respring back into the industry or something. But you do an amazing job, man. And you're not cussing me out like Hoist Gracie did for talking too much, and that's wonderful. That's a great start.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm grateful. Hey, listen, anybody that comes on and we chat, I'm always grateful. Like, I don't compare follower numbers or whatever. I'm very much like Joe Rogan, and that's why I call it the CTD experience, like Joe Rogan experience, because I'm like, what interests me is going to make me want to talk to people. I only do a CTD experience if I'm digging it. I'm not doing it out of like, oh, someone's paying me. I've got someone telling me to do this. It's like, no, we hit it off organically. We've had a great, interaction. And I'm like, dude, I'm thoroughly flabbergasted by how, like, we got 250 people watching on between X and YouTube tonight already. It's so much fun. And those that'll be watching after the fact, I am fueled by genuine curiosity and good subjects. And MMA, I got to say, it's a huge subject for me. I watched when I want to say it's early 2000s. I went to Blockbuster and I rented the early UFCs before Zuffa. And then I got to say, the golden age to me is 2005 to 2015. After that, it gets better, but like Chuck the Iceman Liddell, you've got Rich Franklin, you've got you name it. You've got all these people that are just Brock Lesnar, Heath Herring, you name it. This one we're all interested in. We're both coming together. I'm a fan. You've lived the industry, and here we get to have a conversation and pick your brain and introduce a little bit of my enthusiasm, which is really fun.
You can hear me still, right?
Lima Charlie, it's not the mic in front of your face, though, I don't think.
No, it's my word is.
We're getting a
I'll
little
just
bit
fill
of
everybody
break
in.
on the
I brought my old school gear. I brought my ringside sound gear. Like I was like, I'm going full MMA mode. So I brought my whole old soundboard and everything to do this right.
Hold on one sec. Do we need to take a break and you can try and replug things in? Because it's hard to hear you versus what we just saw.
Is it?
It is. It's yeah. So let's do this. It's fine.
Take
Dude,
it 2
we're
and
at 2
2.
hours. We're at 2 hours of shit. It's time for another cover break. Oh my
Right
God.
on.
And listen,
I got a good
fine and
half
play-
hour left in me, bro.
All right, another half hour. Fine. Fine and dandy. Let's take a break. You sort your shit out. And if I need
All
to
right.
play the Let Loose twice, oh no, we hear an amazing song twice. It's only awesome and everybody gets to benefit. So guys and gals, make sure to like and repost the stream on X. Advertise the YouTube link here. And if you talk in the comments, we're happy to bring it up. In the meantime, we will BRB. I'm here with Jason Mugg. We're having a great time talking MMA, and we'll be back at it here shortly. Put it in. It's almost done. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean your $2 to X, because this is one of the many songs I have on my subscribers on X. Let loose. Here we go. BRB.
The weekend is here, let loose. Cut the phone off, tie your shoes. We've been running on empty all week long. Now the city lights are calling strong. Shake it off, leave the weight at the door tonight. We don't need nothing more. Let loose, let the night come alive. Let loose, feel that heartbeat drive. No deadlines, no cold blue screens, just us and a little time between. Let loose, let the music rise. Let loose, under neon skies. We can laugh, we can dance, we can breathe. Baby, that's what we came here to need. Late train humming down the block. Bass line thumping like a ticking clock. Red cup glow and a half-lit smile. Everything feels better for a while. And if tomorrow comes too soon, we'll meet it when we need it too. Right now the moment's made for two. So let it move through me and you. Let loose, let the night come alive. Let loose, feel that heartbeat drive. No deadlines, no cold blue screens, just us and a little time between. Let loose, let the music rise. Let loose, under neon skies. We can laugh, we can dance, we can breathe. Baby, that's what we came here to need. The weekend is here, let loose. And for a little while, we do.
Man, That is such a badass dude. I love what I
It
do.
is.
I
I love
love
that.
the fact that I can do something like CTD experience, man. The fact we live in 2026 and can have this great a time. I'm here with Jason Mugg, the founder of ACSLive.tv. He sold it. If you've watched videos on Fight TV, if you haven't been a part of the stream or the podcast episode so far, this guy knows more about MMA than you've forgotten. Jason, man, thank you for being here. How fast did that 2 hours go, mate?
My goodness, we are cooking. Yeah, no, this is great, man. I am having a great time reliving a lot of these old memories, a lot of things I haven't thought about in quite a couple years, and it's just still flooding back in like crazy. Like that link that I just sent you. We were talking about the name Big John, and Big John did a speech in back behind the scenes in that one right there. That's Big John's MMA. That's a double knockout, man. That is absolutely one of the best double knockouts ever. We're talking 2 leaning towers of Pisa, just and then they both.
This is your favorite match, right? Or is the one before this?
Ever. They were brutal, and the way they came in and hit each other on that double knockout, like that was it. Game over, dude. It was great, man. Go ahead and move that ahead. Move that ahead. How many minutes we got on that one? I think it was a third round.
It's probably, if I was to do it. No.
Yep. Come back a little bit. Come back just after that. Nope. Just after that. In the corner.
Oh, so this is not the double knockout.
No. Go move forward a little bit. Come back. Come forward. Yep. Just after this round. Go ahead.
And they called the round. Okay.
Yeah, that's the round. Now move ahead just a bit. Like follow your cursor. You'll see. Go ahead. Move. Follow your cursor. You'll see the video. Yep. That right before there. Yep. Right here, man. This is amazing. Turn that volume on. You want to hear
this.
It,
boss.
The crowd matters.
Oh.
Jackson versus Owen Martin.
That's 3.
Right there.
Oh. Whoa.
He's done. That's Jay Jackson right there. Owen Martin in the white trunk. They both play that ref called it right there. That's the dark horse right there, man. Shepard. He was a pro fighter too, that referee. Great guy, excellent guy. There's Sheena Brandenburg down there getting hugged. Sheena Brandenburg is a bare knuckle boxer as well as MMA fighter. Just got done with a little stint in the pen for running a motorcycle over. I
gotta say, let's be honest. Bare knuckle boxing is when you're done in the MMA world, that's where you go.
Yep. One of my conspiracy podcast hosts, John Chalbeck. He's actually a bare knuckle, a BKFC fighter, and he did amazing. That guy does challenges and crap that you wouldn't believe. Like he'll challenge anyone to keep your foot. It's beautiful. Both of you put your foot inside of a tire, right?
My God.
You put a tire on the ground, and he'll challenge anybody for $100 that they can't land a punch on him. But both of you got to keep your foot inside of that tire, so you can't back up, move around, nothing. You
kind of a gimmick.
Yeah, kind of, but he's amazing. The guy is fast as lightning. But yeah, the bare knuckle fighting championship has brought in so many. And we use the word washed up, just fighters that are beyond going big time pro in like UFC or anything. They're in the
sunset career opportunity.
That's a good word. Sunset career. Yeah. That's beautiful.
I just want to run back these 3 knees. Just 1 sec, mate. Uno, dos, and he's fucking Trace. Oh my God. That's wild. Again, that goes back to I respect everyone.
Amazing.
Everyone that steps into the octagon or a ring. You are putting your health on the line. Let's take your fight. Oh, these guys is, not as thin and trim as, like fighters in their prime. And UFC, they have gone into the ring and put themselves into harm's way. I'm going to respect the shit out of that over anybody that's going to armchair quarterback that. I'm going to body slam them in the comments because there's no respect and I can't abide it.
Well, I don't know how many times, man. I mean, without no bragging, no nothing, man. We've been sitting in the bar after an event. You know what I mean? And here comes the armchair guys that were in the audience.
Oh my God.
And they see us sitting around, have them, and they notice one of the fighters that they thought did really crappy and he could have done better. And always, man, the mosquito shows up. And here's the mosquito. Meh, 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 you should have, you should have. And then it usually turns into like that guy saying, I could kick your ass. And you don't start a fight with a man who has cauliflower ear.
Yeah.
Ever. Like,
no,
but
don't, you can do you can do anything once, eh? All right.
Yeah.
So I know I've only got you for another 25 minutes.
Right.
So the thing about MMA, there's 1,000 different directions you can go, right? And we can do that in another time. What I want to do is talk about something that I am passionate about, and I fucking hate about MMA, which is weight cutting. I've got a top 5 worst weight cuts video we're going to watch. I'm going to preface it with, there was a guest on Joe Rogan that recently said everything I've said and thought for 10 years. Make the make the weigh-ins the day of the fight, because no one is going to cut unnecessary weight. And if they do, they're going to get their head chopped off in their match.
And
they'll learn
how much you can gain back in 24 hours, man.
Give it to, 3 UFCs, and you're going to have fighters go, oh, fuck, I'm just going to weigh what I need to weigh. I'm not going to cut 20 pounds, 30 pounds to weigh this for 5 seconds and then reinflate. It is such a dangerous thing, but it's also like this thing. It's as Joe Rogan says, it is sanctioned cheating. It's sanctioned cheating.
You wouldn't believe the things I've seen after weigh-ins, man. I'm talking fighters.
So hold on. Can I ask you to hold on to that? Can I ask you to hold on? Can I ask you to hold on to that?
Oh yeah.
Because I think let's watch these fighters struggle, and then you talking about it will have a greater impact. I want my guests to have the best impact possible. So if that's cool with you, let's rock. Yeah.
Run it. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Listen, I'm here to make you shine, mate. All right, here we are. Top 5 most dangerous weight cuts in UFC history. Ooh, here we go. Number 5, Yoel Romero. And we'll skip through.
5, Yoel Romero, UFC 225. Yoel Romero, otherwise known as the Soldier of God, is the number 4 ranked contender in the middleweight division and is best known for ruthless knockout power and his 2 wars with former champion Robert Whittaker. In his second matchup with Whittaker at UFC 225, Romero looked gaunt and ghost-like on the scale. He initially missed weight by 1 pound.
I mean, let's be honest. These guys are being handheld out. He dropped trowel. He's butt naked behind the towel. Like every ounce. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a Playboy in the back, cranked one out just to make weight.
No, they got guys there scraping the sweat off of you so that you don't even have that weight.
Oh, my God.
Romero struggled to even walk to his hotel.
Like, look, this... fucking A.
Yourself, man.
A scary sight for all MMA fans. Romero also missed weight in his second attempt, coming in at 185.2 pounds, just 0.2 pounds over the required weight. The commission stepped in and prevented the severely depleted Romero from continuing the cut and stripping him of his chances to win the middleweight title.
Wait, they over 0.2? I thought it was like 2 pounds, not 0.2.
The rules are the rules, man.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yoel has expressed the desire to compete in the light heavyweight, and many fans agree that would be a good idea, as at the age of 42, the weight cut is only going to get harder. Number 4, Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Oh man, here we go.
UFC 209.
Yeah,
It is no secret that UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov gets big outside the fight camp with trainers, with training partners, mentioning that the Dagestani can get as big as 190 pounds.
Yeah, but so does Patty Bimblet, right? Like,
Right.
come on. Okay, outside of camp, you balloon up, but if you got to, prepare your body, you go down. I don't see what the problem is. I think it's people that are pissed they can't lose weight.
At UFC 209, Khabib was scheduled to take on Tony Ferguson in what has now become the most cursed matchup in MMA history. On the morning of the weigh-in, the Eagle was rushed to the hospital after suffering dehydration and intense liver pain, and the fight had to be scrapped. This was not the first time.
I remember that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do, man.
Dude.
Matter of fact, as well as the Yoel one got a big conversation out of a lot of us on the weight cuts. But Khabib I'm not saying he was doing it wrong. The whole dehydration thing and the liver problem is it's the protein intake, it's the lack of the food intake while you're cutting and not having we know the right hydration, but he was doing something else, man.
I think if you're going to lose 5 pounds of water, cool. You can go in a sauna, pop out, Bob's your uncle, good to go. But again,
garbage bag, baby. Garbage bag runs, man. Garbage bag quarter miles. That's how you do it.
If your fight is Saturday night and they weigh you in Saturday morning, awesome. Don't be dehydrated 20 pounds. Be 5, drink, Gatorade, have a meal, you're fucking back at it. I think that is the natural way to dissuade fighters from doing this because they're putting their health in danger, right? Like organs are failing. What the fuck are we doing here? Organs are failing.
Shouldn't have been, bro. You gotta bring this. This isn't Khabib's fault, man. This guy is a guy that does what he's told. Okay, this is a fighter that does.
I got it.
Told to do.
But what I'm saying is,
led him down a weight loss path that wrecked him, and it wrecked him for I think a good half a year before he fully recovered from that weight loss.
And that's a tragedy, which I'm saying, and I advocate for same day weigh-ins. Same day. Okay, you rehydrate 5 pounds max, you're good. If you don't, right? Oh, I'm going to dehydrate, I'm going to fast, and I'm not going to eat. I'm going to come in 25 pounds under my walk around weight 25, 30 hours ago. Well, you're going to get your ass beat in the cage. It'll take 1 or 2 maybe 3 pay-per-views for people to figure that out. It's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should be at the weight I should fucking be at. Now, I also agree from the JRE podcast where they talked about this in depth recently. They need to add weight classes, right? 125, 135, 145, 155. Ready for this? 165, 175, 185, 195, 205. Like, you need to. It's time to reinvigorate the sport. It's time to retool
classes, and it stretches the industry out too much. That's what Dana was most worried about with that. It stretches the industry out and removes a lot of competitors, and that was one of the big things Dana was.
I disagree.
You think so?
And think it'll invite more fighters. I think more people will be like, oh, I can do that. I honestly do. And then like 205, but then 225. But then I agree. There should be a super heavyweight.
You're going to go against John Jones at 205, bro?
Let's go 250 plus, and you're on your fucking own. Like, let's go. Let's get 8 foot, basketball player, 400 pound.
Right.
But like, let's go. Listen, if you're the baddest man on the planet, but you can't make 265 because you're too heavy? Are you being, who's to say the current baddest men on the planet, the heavyweight, can't beat you? Like, I think there's limitations.
Though,
it's time for restructuring. It's time for restructuring.
On that mental thought and that pathway of thinking, bro, like in the amateur world, we weren't pushing the kids to drop as low as they could get. The common goal was, what do you plan on fighting at if you go pro? What makes you comfortable in your weight? And that's what a lot of the coaches did around just the amateur world, and a lot of the lower tier pros. They were just like, hey man, we're not all about like pushing our guys to, lose 40 pounds to get in the cage for a 270 or a 175 match, 180, 85, excuse me. But and then they end up weighing 205 by the time they get back in the cage.
Yeah.
Most of our young guys were kept inside of their comfortable weight range. They weren't allowed to go deep. But like I was telling you earlier, I ran into a couple events where there was, and I'm not going to name the organization, but they were in the back with medics that were jamming kids with freaking IVs and just pumping them full right then. As soon as they walk off the scale, they're pumped full of IVs. And it's like, why are you doing
and
this?
IVs in the UFC were made illegal. Yeah. You're eliminating, objectively, I think people, if you're to hear what I'm saying,
Bjorn Rebney. Why that finally came to my head? Bellator. Bjorn.
I really think it makes sense, right? Like I think it's logical. In the amateur, you're like, what weight do you really think? But then when you go pro, like chuck them into, okay, you weigh 215, okay? Just hypothetically. Are you going to fight at 205 or 185? Because you're going to fight your worst nightmare at 245, or you're going to kill yourself to get to 185 and fight whoever that is. You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference between the two. I respect the question you asked at amateur. I just don't think it's valid during this discussion for pro level is all. Right. And that's no disrespect, because I think the amateur, that's the perfect question at amateur, but just maybe not. So shall we continue, sir?
Yeah. The walk-in weight versus, I get where you're at. Your walk-in weight versus what your fight weight is a drastic difference, man.
Oh my God. When it's 20 plus pounds different, that's a problem.
You really wouldn't believe how easy it is to pull off 20 pounds. How much did you lose?
Not everybody can. Listen, mate, not everyone can do an 86-hour fast, motherfucker.
Right. Nurmagomedov has had troubles with his weight, having missed weight once previously at UFC 160. However, it appears the wrestler has made the necessary adjustments to his nutrition and weight cut. Khabib has not missed weight since and has looked a lot healthier on the scale. Still, the hospitalization has many fans worried every time he steps on the scale.
All right, so let's the one word to take away from this before we go to the next: hospitalization.
Send me a message like location, I'm gonna come.
Number 3, Darren Till, UFC Fight Night 130. Darren Till is a huge fighter. His coaches and teammates estimate when out of camp, he walks around at 210 pounds. A large out-of-camp weight for a middleweight fighter, let alone when he was competing.
So 210 walk around, middleweight is 180 fucking 5.
At welterweight, it's no secret that the gorilla suffered his fair share of dangerous cuts.
Dude.
But again, I gotta tell you, man, see that kid? No, stop right there, dude. You see the muscle mass on him? Like, yeah, amazing fighter at UFC 130. But compared to other 185s, that kid doesn't have the muscle, the muscle body to be losing that kind of weight.
Yeah, but there's no comparison, man. You're not standing next to him. I'm not standing next to him.
Oh,
he could be. How tall is he? 6 foot? Like, it's. I hear what you're saying, but without like reference points. Anyways, let's proceed.
Cuts
I'm trying to acknowledge that I've got 11 minutes left with you.
You're
on
all
his
right.
way down to 170 pounds.
Sorry, say again.
Oh, I said, you're all right. If we run over, we run over.
But it was nowhere more apparent than during his fight at UFC Fight Night 130 against the dangerous karate striker Stephen Thompson. Till missed weight by 3.5 pounds.
That's a lot of weight. 3.5? You failed. You fucking failed. It's not half a pound.
But not before footage leaked of the Liverpool native going temporarily blind while trying to shed the pounds.
Wait, temporary? What?
Yeah.
He went blind?
That's a nutrition thing, man.
What?
And that's the coaches not putting him through a proper weight loss.
Holy shit. But that's the whole point of this video is weight cuts gone wrong. Oh my God. People need to know this is the point. Holy shit. Let's back it up. I'll shut up.
But not before footage leaked of the Liverpool native going temporarily blind while trying to shed the pounds. The footage showed a miserable Till under piles of blankets to help sweat out the necessary water weight and was a graphic reminder of the insane nature of weight cuts. Number 2.
Jesus.
Conor McGregor, UFC.
This must be where he made 145. He looks like the mummy.
194.
But he fucking did it in spectacular. He did it. There's no horror story. It's just like, ooh, when you look at him, you're like, God. God.
Yeah, it looks like he's not great, and you know damn well he don't. You know?
You know damn well what? Sorry?
Oh, I said it. He looks like he feels great, but you know damn well he don't. You know?
Oh no, there's no joy. The only joy in this is him weighing in at the weight and then the crowd roaring, and then instantly, make no mistake, the dopamine hit from his brain releasing into his body has everything to do into the stairs. So let's do the with that understanding. Let's rock
UFC 194.
So you see, like he initially does it, then it's like, oh shit, everyone's responding. Look, watch.
4.
Oh shit, I'm gonna flex, and then everyone's on their feet, and he goes bonkers.
When Conor McGregor stormed his way up the featherweight rankings on his journey to winning his first world title, fans were constantly reminded of just how dangerous extreme weight cutting is, with a grossly depleted and malnourished McGregor stepping on.
So let me ask you this. You've mentioned to me off of this podcast, you've seen fighters fasting, weight cutting. What are people like him or him doing, right? Like, what is so, like, again, respecting your time, what are you seeing that they're doing to get to this level?
Of the weight cut itself?
Yes.
I mean, again, it'll depend on the coach, but the majority of it, crap load of just sweating it out, man. That's where the
water weight.
Yeah. You're wearing trash bags. You're literally putting on trash bags first. Okay, first. That's what's against your skin. Then you're loading on hoodies, sweatpants, everything, and you're going for a quarter-mile sprint. Then you're walking. Then as soon as coach says go, another quarter-mile sprint. You're doing that. They strip you down. They scrape the water off you. They throw new trash bags on. Throw your clothes.
So that's what these MMA fighters are doing.
A lot of it, yeah, man. It's basic, just bust ass and sweat it out. Some of it, none of it's chemical loss, man. If that's what you're looking for an answer, I swear to God, no.
I'm not fishing, mate. I just remember in high school,
it's hard work.
I remember the wrestling team running around in those trash bag suits. I'm not I promise I'm not fishing for anything.
Okay,
I'm just
so
asking.
I'll tell you flat out then, bro. I've seen fighters who have been only allowed 1 glass of water a day. That's it. 1 8-ounce glass of water.
How many days? in a
Five,
row.
usually a 5-day cut.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yep. 5 days before
No.
weigh-in, man, they go into extreme cut. No food, no water, no nothing. You get 1 glass of water a day,
See,
and you can
this
split that up so you can wet your mouth, but that is the only water you're getting all day is 1 bottle of water. And
this is what I'm trying to fight
all day.
against.
Huh?
You know, I'm trying to fight against this. Make the weigh-ins the day of. You're going to fight at the weight class you should be. If you're not going to have the stamina against someone that is. You're going to get your teeth knocked out, and you're not like, right? So, for instance, 155 title fight, right? Oh, someone's coming down from 185 to make 155 versus Frankie Edgar, who, I don't know, walks around at 160.
Yeah.
He's going to lazily lose 5 pounds of water versus somebody that's like trying to drain 15 pounds, even, whatever. Who's going to have the advantage? I think you got to make it the day of. Early on, that's fine. Let them hydrate.
You gotta understand, though, man. Like McGregor, man, how long he's been training. Now, training isn't just learning how to throw a left hook, learning to not cross your feet, learning balance. It's also, hey, guess what? They throw in learning how to cut weight. They throw that in there. That is something you do.
Sanctioned cheating,
even
mate.
if you're not got a fight coming, the coach will be like, all right, you're coming down 10 pounds this week. Just simple as that. You are all coming down 10 pounds this week. Everyone is going on weight cut. And then they all go through weight cut and then rehydration and then boom.
Imagine if they didn't put their bodies through this and they
learn
could
how
just
they're
thrive. Their bodies, but the problem is their bodies can only do this for so long. If they were to, So, I mean, I think, let meritocracy win. Okay. If somebody wants to lose 25 pounds, if somebody wants to lose 3, the day of, let's see how the fight goes. My guess is within 2 to 3 fight UFCs, there's a new way to fucking do business. But let's
it's
finish.
one of the bigger secrets inside the industry, bro. As far as like when I could approach a coach and say, "Hey, man, what's going on? How does the cut?" Hey, that's something we don't talk about.
I understand.
It's crazy. They'll tell you how to throw a left hook all day, but they will not a lot of them will
It's
not.
total horseshit. It's total horseshit. I remember Forrest Griffin would walk around at 235 and weigh in at 205. Total horseshit. That's all I'm saying. I don't think what I'm saying is controversial. I actually think what I'm saying is echoed by a lot of people. They just want, people to not die or come close to it. Here we go.
Time and time again. No more was this more apparent than his title fight against Jose Aldo at UFC 194. With Aldo himself suffering from a huge weight cut, it was in no way comparable to the notorious one. McGregor was
fuck.
Bone thin and appeared fragile as he stepped on the scale, screaming.
I will never advocate for this. Fucking ever. This is scary.
At the camera with a haunting
Sorry, go ahead.
I feel for you on your thought on that, and I understand. I've seen enough of it to know that the majority of fighters are doing it right. I've seen fighters cramp up and fall down right at weigh-in, and that's it. You're carrying them out in a stretcher. But at the same time, I've seen fighters that handle it just fine.
I disagree with your premise, mate. I don't think anyone that drops 15 to 20 pounds is doing quote unquote anything right. We may disagree, and that's okay. I respect your opinion. I just don't agree with it. That's all I'm saying.
Brenna, no, you're okay. I don't disapprove of your opinion.
Haunting example of just how far these athletes are willing to go to obtain the advantage. Looking back, it is an even crazier weight cut, knowing the success Conor has had at both lightweight and welterweight, with most fans agreeing that it would not be healthy for McGregor to return to 145. If you like our videos, consider subscribing to our Instagram channel for daily motivation. Number 1. TJ Dillashaw, UFC Fight Night 143. At number 1 it is without a doubt TJ Dillashaw. After the two-time UFC world champion defended his belt against former rival Cody Garbrandt via TKO, he embraced the challenge of obtaining a second world title at flyweight against the newly crowned.
I remember this, but I forgot about it. I forgot about this.
Yeah.
Fucking forgot about this. Ooh, boy.
Henry Cejudo. Many experts and fans doubted TJ's chances of even making the required weight of 125, as Dillashaw was already shredded for all of his fights at bantamweight. But to the amazement of all, TJ was able to make 125 pounds, albeit looking like a man who had been marooned on an island for 2 months. Despite making the weight, it did not take Cejudo long to secure a controversial stoppage of Dillashaw in the first round of their bout. Many were in agreement that the insanely dangerous weight cut was to blame for TJ's performance, who didn't look anywhere near as sharp as he did in his spectacular previous fights at bantamweight. With Dillashaw announcing his return to bantamweight for his next fight, a wise decision to be sure. A lot of fans around the world are waiting for his return.
Yeah, you get into chewing on.
Oh boy. Yeah, so that was
chewing up. That's
not
when your
great.
liver starts failing, man.
Normally when fighters age, they go up, and TJ decided to go down. So that was like the dark side. So listen, we've run the gamut tonight of like, hey, what's healthy for people? You know, what we've liked, your experience in the cage, your experience with fighters in the industry. Muggsy, it's been so much fun to have you here, mate.
Thank you.
And then, watching, the dark side of MMA, you've indulged me and my, opinions. We've agreed, we've disagreed a little, but mate, I gotta say, we've had so much fun on X, and I just gotta champion X here for a minute. With Elon buying it, with what we've done, how much fun we've had, whether it's weight loss together, as a community, or what we're doing here, the podcast here tonight, the CTD experience. Thank you for being a part, by the way. I warned you the danger was you would have a good time and it might go over, and we're at over 2.5 hours, and it has happened. I'm so grateful to anybody that has fun. So what I'd like to do before I say what's going to happen next for me is to give you the opportunity to say, hey, this is what's going on in my world, and let's rock and roll. So we're live on X and YouTube, then this is going to be a repository, these episodes. So, mate, thank you first and foremost for your friendship. I've had so much fun. We started out the stream tonight, and you thanked me for your health, and I was gobsmacked. I misremembered the amount of weight
You're
you lost.
True motivator, bro. You're a true motivator.
And I'm not trying to pump myself up, but I'm like, just like what I'm trying to get at. Honestly, I'm stumbling through it. Thank you for taking a moment to indulge me. Is say we encourage each other, right? And this is what we do. This is what we're here for. Have fun, have a great time. But there's certain few people on X and YouTube, and we are two of those people that are risen above it. And we're on a podcast tonight, and we're doing things to influence others that might just be lurkers. We're doers, and you've taken time to say, hey, I'm going to come out of a little bit of retirement, I feel like. Tell me if I'm wrong. But also like, hey, this is what's been cool in my life. Thank you for sharing your world, mate. Over to you. Tell everybody what's going on and anything on your heart, mate. Go ahead.
Thank you, man. And I like I said, you are a true motivator. Starting off the new year on that, that fasting plan really changed my life. It brought me to a center to think about things. Right now, I have moved on from MMA. Like I said, the last show I filmed was about 2 years ago, 2 Octobers ago, and from this one. So, It got a little boring, but with all the knowledge I gained from running a sports network and doing all my own, building of websites and learning how to edit and software and all the stuff I've learned, I got into software development. And then with the advent of what's going on with artificial intelligence, I'm seeing a whole lot going on out there. And for the same reason that I was called the mayor of MMA, for my honesty, my integrity, the way that I handled fighters, the truth, the not letting corruption happen around the industry, is why I've built what I've built. People can check us out at context.network. That's context with a K. You guys go there. We are probably about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks from actually launching. So, this video hopefully will be like a little springboard, but this is everything the real person needs to not just have a life coach, but to have a business coach, to have everything at their fingertips to start up a business, start up their own applications, to start up their own software, anything they want to do. This takes AI vibe coding to a whole different level. Like for yourself personally, like CTD, if you jumped on and built your something immediately, you're going to have a business phone number, a business AI agent that can absolutely handle your people and help you focus on what you want to bring to people. And it was everything I've been through in life that kind of said, hey, man, what is it that was the biggest hurdles I had throughout all of the business and entrepreneurial ideas that I've had and everything I've done? And I put all of that into one basket. And still to this day, the top 5 AIs have evaluated my code and the business proposal I have. And I'm 2.5, 3 years ahead of the rest of the industry. You guys are going to be amazed with what we put out there. Everybody that's listening that was in the MMA world with me, maybe if you're catching this, you're like, holy crap, Muggs is on a podcast. Fucking love you guys, man. I miss you guys. It was an amazing run. We had a beautiful 10, 15 years together. Some people off and on throughout the years. I've lost a lot of great people, and it was an amazing trip. There's a mass need for mental health help in the MMA world, and I'd love to advocate for that. If you're out there and some MMA fighters, reach out and tell them they're actually amazing people and they're wonderful. And I just couldn't say enough the losses that we've had from self-harm, and that comes from the pressure you get inside of that industry. And one of my some of my best friends, man, and it's just that heavy weight is not just inside the cage, it's outside the cage too. You sacrifice a lot of your life to be that athlete. And those in football, baseball, they all know, and this is a brand new sport to the world, and a lot of people don't realize the amount of weight on their shoulders to get done what they got to do inside of that ring. And so reach out to your fellow MMA fighters, reach out to somebody that's chasing that dream, and let them know that they're okay, that they have your support, and that they're not a horrible human being for what they do. There's a lot of mixed feeling happens, and a lot of family breakage, and a lot of just relationship loss and things that happen that just bring people down, and it can come crashing down on you any minute. Don't expect to be a millionaire, just be the best you can be. And I say that to everybody in life, no matter what it is. Just like CTD over here, critically thinking isn't looking about being a millionaire. He's just out there doing what he does, just doing what you love to do. The secret ingredient to everything in life is love. Because when you do things out of love and for the love of what you're doing, it's going to be successful for you no matter how you look at it. You may not have all the money you want, but I guarantee you're provided for. You're taken care of. You have things under control, and your heart and your whole well-being is better off doing the things you love to do. So just remember that the secret ingredient into everything in life is exactly the love you put into it. So that's me, man. That's Muggsy. That's how I live my life. So
you have so much life experience, mate. I mean, for anybody to disregard anything he just said, I mean, do so at your own, peril. Between the two of us, we've been around a minute, right? So we're trying to hey, you don't have to go by life in the hard school of knocks, but if you do, that's fine. Everyone has their own path. But I think tonight has been really wonderful, mate. Thank you so much
Thanks for having me,
for
man.
taking us into the foray into the inside. Well, it's a mix of metaphors, but inside baseball of MMA. Like, hey, I've know these people, these fighters. This is what I know of the industry. You've entertained, some of my weight. Weighing in shenanigans. Dude, we've covered the base, and I would say we've scratched the surface of the 33 years of MMA, but I don't think we have. It's been more like there's a surface, and then it's like it's frosted over, and then we scrape the frost off the surface. It's not even the surface has been like scraped. There's so much to get into. So Muggsy, as you get into further adventures, and if you run across MMA fighters or anybody in that industry that might be interested to join a future podcast episode discussion, please message me. It would be really wonderful. So on that note, we're going to call it a day. Ben, talk about the fastest 2 hours and 40 minutes. I mean, it went quick for me, mate. So I'm glad that you hung in there. Thank you for that. I always ask my guests, like, and you're not the first one. I'm like, hey, just so you know, I got your parameters, but just so you know, you may have fun and it may go over. And this has been another occasion that's occurred. And, I take it as a point of pride that people are like, shit, it's already been an hour. It's already been like this. So that's awesome to me. That makes me happy.
Should ever be hurried, man.
Say again.
I keep this rule with my wife and my friends. No conversation should ever be hurried. You should never have to hurry a conversation. A conversation should be just like we just had, man. It takes as long as it takes. And if you got something to talk about it. Too many people shutting people down out there saying they're busy and they got too much to do and they're not really interested in what, but man, I'll tell you how much you learn just sitting and listening. Listening is such a golden, thing to learn. Listening is a skill. It's a skill you got to learn. You'll hear that all over the place if you're watching this right now. Listening and having conversations with people is probably one of the best skills you can ever have. And I learned so much from people like you,
And likewise. So make sure to follow him on YouTube and make sure to follow him on X. More importantly,
same name, Jason Mugg. You'll see actually material starting up on there. I got my TikTok is the real Muggsy. Is my TikTok. You'll see more of me and my personal life on there, and on my Twitter at Jason Mugg. That one is basically mostly my software and my business venture I'm into, and sometimes some political stuff here and there. But you never know what kind of meme I'm going to share. So, but anyways,
that's the adventure. As long as we're following people that we enjoy and we know they're in it to win it. All right, guys. So I'm CTD, critically thinking and drinking, with my guest tonight, Jason Mugg. He's been awesome. Muggsy, love you, appreciate you, and thank you for everything that you shared tonight. We had a great time. And everyone, tomorrow night, Saturday night, stand by for the promotion. We got like a crew. We got upwards of 10 people ready to rock and roll on 80s, 70s, and 80s TV show intros. And if I can talk Muggsy into it, we'll see if he'll be there. But hey, guys, have a great night. Love you. Mean it. We'll catch you on the flip side. I'm CTD. Follow me here on YouTube. Follow me here on X.
Silver
We have a
Spoon,
good time.
best opening songs ever.
Say again.
Silver Spoons, Ricky Schroeder, best opening song ever.
Right on, mate. And here's the best closing song, which is, hold on, it's my own tune I made off my album. Subscribe to me on X to get the whole album. $2, 8 quarters. Shit. I got my flow. Hold on. Last call. Thank God. Whew. All right. Last call. Here we go. Muggsy, thanks again. Everyone, have a good night. Subscribe, like, and follow on X and on YouTube. Peace and hair grease. Bye-bye.
The bartender's ready to go. I'm sitting here with one last glass, watching the lonely hours pass. It's last call, yeah, the party's through. Just me and my memories of you. One more round for the road ahead, with all the words we never said. Just one more. Neon sign is buzzing low. The bartender's ready to go. I'm sitting here with one last glass, watching the lonely hours pass. It's last call, yeah, the party's through. Just me and my memories of you. One more round for the road ahead, with all the words we never said. Just me